everyone. Welcome to Pan Am. This is the Hungaroring 3-hour enduro. My name's Nick. I'm joined by Joe again, and we're going to be taking you through the next 3 hours and about 4.5 minutes because that's how much we have left of qualifying to set the grid for this one. Joe, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Nick. I hope you're all well there, all the viewers, all the competitors. Looking forward to these endurance races, and it's a very good size grid for this sort of race. So we're looking forward to this one.
Very, very healthy indeed. 28 cars in total, but over 40 drivers participating in today's event or tonight, wherever you are, whatever part of the world that you're in. But yeah, very, very exciting. It's going to be a pretty busy circuit. 28 cars on the Hungaroring at 4.38 kilometers is going to be pretty chock-a-block full throughout the entire race as well. So I'm looking forward to this one. Not too far away from qualifying, finishing. Just a tick under 3.5 minutes remaining in this one. Just having a look at the teams here as well. So you can see there's plenty of 2-car teams there. A couple of, quite a few actually. 5, in fact. Single drivers in there as well for ZR Boys, Big Brain Racing. The PanAm Racing, the solo Mexican Gage Gonzalez. So maybe he thought, I'll just do it myself, boys. Who else? Jack Johnson, Luis Velez as well. So 3 hours of Hungaroring solo. It's going to be quite a test. And we've also got sort of mix of the North Americans, plus a mixture of Australians in there as well. So very, very nice and healthy size grid there. Quite a few names. If you've watched a Pan Am broadcast in the previously, there'd be quite a few familiar names. We'll do our best to try and keep up with all the driver swaps as well that happen throughout. I think we'll be pretty much all over that. But 3 hours of Hungaroring. It's going to be pretty tiring, I think, for the solo guys. And obviously, hopefully, a lot of the teammates are watching the stream as well. A little bit about the circuit. So it is 14 turns, as I mentioned, 4.38 kilometers. Not a lot of overtaking opportunities. Turn 1 is generally the most common. It's not uncommon to see cars going side by side through turn 2 and turn 3. Turn 4 can be where you see a lot of action through here as well. Some people call it the curb of death, depending on I guess what formula you're using as well around here. Very tight and twisty up through the second sector, through pretty much from turn 6 through till 10. It's quite tight and twisty, and then the series of lefts and rights to finish off the lap. As I mentioned, though, it's going to be pretty. I think patience is going to be the key around here. Strategy, I think, will also play a really big part due to the limited overtaking options around this circuit as well. So, what do you think, Joe? What do you think the approach is for around here?
You can push reasonably hard, but there's also a few parts of this circuit where if you grab a little bit too much curb or you go in there a little bit too hot, so turn 3, turn 4, the hairpin, the chicane, so turn 6 and 7, and then around the back of the circuit, turn 12, you've got to watch out for your track limits on the outside, and then it's just a matter of getting through the last 2 turns. But turn 1, big opportunity for overtakes, and then you can get an overtake at turn 6 and 7, but you've really got to be up the side by side with the car if you're trying to gain track position by pushing up the inside. All hell could break loose through there. The other big passing opportunity is down the hill into turn 12. It's kind of single file from turn 6 through to turn 11, but after that, turn 12, it's big overtaking opportunity, and even turn 13 as well. You don't see so much at turn 14. It's usually trying to get a good run, good exit down that main straight. And other track limits as well at turn 11. Turn 4, it's pushing too hard through there. Throw in a bit of weather if that does come in into play with this 3-hour race. Could be very exciting. So,
Yep.
it's one of my favourites, Hungaroring. I've had some good runs around here, and it's a circuit that you can really get into the flow of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a couple of corners. If you grab a little bit too much curb, you can find yourself in the fence.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those. It's a kind of an old school track as well, so it does. There's not a lot of runoff area. Can bite you pretty hard as well, as we see qualifying. But as you mentioned, getting into a rhythm around here is not particularly difficult because it's pretty much non-stop throughout the track. So we'll see how these boys are going to go this afternoon, this evening, or women as well, if we have ladies in here as well. We've got the grid is set. It was Retro Coffin who set a 143. Hang on, no, what was it? His best time. Here we go. Yeah, 143.372 was his best time of the session. Good enough for P1. Marcus Van Vliet in a Porsche as well, up there of 143.5, sitting in second. And then you had Zhang in the Lamborghini, so splitting the Porsche for third and fourth there at 43.7. Graniero not too far behind him. Then you've got Alves, Diaz, Pena, Shannon Sky, as well as Charles Ho in the Honda. Any surprises there? There's only one front-engined car there, the Aston Martin of Pena in P7. The rest of them were all mid to rear engine. And would you think that would have a bit of an advantage around here? The standings are certainly indicating so.
Yeah, it does look as though that's the case. It would help getting the rotation through some of these corners. I am a little bit surprised by that. I thought there might have been a few more that might have jumped on the front engine cars, mainly the BMW. But it's good to see a really good mix out there for this one.
Yeah, so three Porsches in the top four, split by a Lamborghini, then the Ferrari in there as well. But as we have a look further down, there was Eastcott in 11th, Velez in 12th. I'm only giving you the single names at the moment, not necessarily giving you their teammates as well. But you've got, hang on, I think I might be able to do that actually. Let me just double check. I think I can. Luis Velez, Caden Richardson, his teammates Neil Berovitz, Kenneth Smith and Albert Brand, they're 14th. Jack Poliak and Martin Riggs in the BMW in 15. Amans Petrovics, he is going to be a solo driver in the Mercedes in 16th. Chris Rise and Eric Lloyd, they're down there in 17th. 18th, Chris Ramaka and Stephen Tomazic. You got Christopher Shuffler and Joshua Piasik in 19th. Solo drivers from 20th to 24th. So Warwick Veach, Craig Townsend, Curtis Lee, Curtis Rushton. It's two Curtises. One with a K, one with a C. It's interesting. There you go. Frantiasek. Oh, I'm so sorry. I butchered that name. 24th. Chase Donnelly and John Donnelly. So obviously related somehow. Jack Johnson. I'm not Jimmy and Matt Arendt's down there in 27th and 28th. And a very familiar name, but in an unfamiliar position. Gage Gonzalez sitting down there in 28th position as well. So perhaps, let's see what time he set in qualifying. I don't think he set a time by the looks of things. So, yeah, he's down there in 28th right now. So we'll view his progress as he makes his way through the field. No doubt we'll end up somewhere closer to the other end of where he started. We are not far away from getting things underway, about 40 odd seconds in fact. So a grid is all set. 3 hours of the Hungaroring for PanAm Racing. Hope you're all enjoying your weekend, whether it's still Saturday night or Sunday afternoon for you, or anything else in between. Get set, because I reckon we should have some pretty good action coming your way over the next 3 hours. As with T-minus 20 seconds, so the cars are all just getting set right now. We'll get the warm-up lap underway, and then the full field of 28 cars we'll head off and get this one started. All right, here we go. So, any predictions, Joe? You did all right on Monday night. You didn't. There was no. You didn't put the Mozza on anyone on Monday night, so I think we've avoided the commentators curse. So I think we can just sort of, we got free reign now that we can just.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for this. Gonzalez starting from the back of the field, 3 hours to get towards the front. Could be very interesting. Be interesting to find out why he didn't get a lap in qualifying. He could be for a big challenge. So he's decided to start from the rear of the field. As the last of the cars just heading round at the moment.
I'm liking a lot of the liveries. I think I found my favourite though. It's Jack Poliak in the BMW, currently P15. He's got a old Williams style livery. Looks phenomenal. So he's done a brilliant job with that. That's certainly my favourite so far. But yeah, a lot of very, very nicely presented cars out there on the grid. So a lot of time and effort has gone into those liveries. So yeah, awesome work from everyone. And we're not too far away. We're sort of almost about halfway around the track. So yeah, get in the run into turn one on lap one. Definitely going to be interesting.
It's good pace by Retro Coffin to get pole. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. He's on his own for this one. It's a big workout for the 3 hours. I've seen quite a few people do that, and
it's a long time. It's a big stint, 3 hours. So good luck to him. Good luck to everyone, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, awesome to see so many people participating. Over 40 people. I don't think we have any three-man teams either in this one. Just the one or two.
So another thing to note is the 3 hour race. It's a 48-minute driver stint, which we will keep everyone updated on as the race goes on. But it actually works out to be that 48-minute driver stint. It's a number that makes it very, very interesting when it comes to the last stint of the race. So it's very interesting to see how the strategies work. They do differ throughout as they're coming around the final turn.
Here we go. So the Porsche front row, Retro Coffin and Marcus Van Vliet, the Australian. We are about to get this one underway. 3 hours of Hungaroring.
Green light.
Starts right now. That's a drive-through penalty for car number 5, I believe, who jumped the start. That's Poliak in the Williams liveried BMW as they all head down into turn 1. They're all going to file through. Let's see if they're a little bit of bumping and pushing in there. But so far, everyone's managed to make their way through. We don't have any spinners. No one's turned around the wrong way. Great stuff from everyone. They've all managed to squeeze through into turn 2. Coming down into turn 3, it's Retro Coffin leading from Van Vliet in there as well. Or no, Zhang actually has split the Porsches as they're making their way down turn 3 into turn 4 now. A little bit of jostling in there. Looks like Diaz has lost a couple of spots as well. So Sky and Alves have been... Oh, we got in the back there. That was an Aston Martin. So I think that was Pena. Yeah, he's hit the wall. Saw him go pretty hard into the wall there. Charles Ho as well. He was involved in that. Maybe might have been Petrovic's in there as well, possibly. But yeah, a couple of just coming out of 4 there. There was a bit of contact as they're all beaving through now. Coming out of turn 7, making their way down through turn 8. We've got the leaderboard there on the side. But it's Retro Coffin leading the pack away. He's got Zhang in chase, so Zhang has just moved up a spot and that is Pena in the Aston Martin. So worst possible start for him. Got a little bit more contact down through the field. Richardson, that's Caden Richardson, in that McLaren there. He's gone around as well. So, and that was the other. That's Charles Ho again in the Honda back in the field. So you can see on the left-hand side anything with that little yellow emblem next to it means contact. We've got a couple of cars in the pits already. Poliak and Townsend in there having a look at Jimmy. Might have made a little bit of contact with someone there. So quite an eventful first lap there. Retro Coffin though, nothing eventful for him. He's able to maintain his P1 status as he's got Zhang in chase, Van Vliet, Renario, Sky, Alves, Shen, Diaz, North and Velez. That's your top 10 right now. We've just started this 3 hours of the Hungaroring and we've already had plenty of action all ready to kick this one off. But Retro Coffin's avoided all of that. He's currently our race leader right now, so perfect start for him.
I'm going to go through and try and get the replay of that race start because there was plenty of action going on, and yeah, we'll try and gather some of that footage and just come to terms with where people finished up after that first lap.
Yeah, and this is Sky putting the move on Grenario there in the through turn 12, Joe, where you pointed that out in the pre-race as well. So we've already seen a move made through there, that downhill braking zone, the right-hander, and Sky is able to make a move on him. Rushton, some move done on Veach as well. So this has been a super eventful start to the 3 hours of the Hungaroring. Alves now just ducking out of the draft there, trying to claim that position back from Grenario. Head down the hill out of turn 1. It's a nice little battle pack brewing right here. Grenario, he's got the lights on. His eyes forward.
So a bit of a replay on the left-hand side from turn 2. They actually got through there okay, then there's a big drama towards the back.
Yep. So they managed to get through turn 1, but turn 2 was the issue, unfortunately. But the beauty of a 3-hour race is that you can be down the back. You've still got plenty of time to make your way up. Speaking of making your way through the field, Gage Gonzalez, he started P28. He's already moved himself up into 14th already, so he's claimed half the field already.
The drama's a bit further around. The car's coming together a bit further up.
Yep.
Try and get a slightly better angle of what happened there.
Yeah, that was out of turn 4 there, so plenty of drivers running a little bit wide. Features in the walls right now, but we've got Alves on the screen, so he's chasing down Shen. This is P6 and P7, and Gonzalez just giving you the update on him. He's moved himself up into P12, as you can see on the leaderboard there. So he's coming up through the field pretty quick, smart. This is Sky. He lost that position to Grenario. This is P4 and P5 right now. But we seem to have settled down quite nicely now. Here's the replay again. I think this will show it exactly where we need to be, Joe. Oh yeah. Yeah, they almost got airborne. And that was, I think that was Ho who was involved with Pena on that one. So, great images, great pictures being brought to you by Joe, who's always working hard in the background to bring you this quality produced event right now. So Sky Canario, but so it's Coffin and Zhang at E1, E2 right now. Van Vliet, Canario, Sky, and we've got Shen, Alves, North, Rise, and Diaz. So Pena, for that incident, he's fallen all the way back down into P28. Here's another replay. Oh, that was the McLaren. I think that was Richardson who was in there, and then just trying to get out of the way, and ends up getting in the way, but he got hit too hard there. So that's all right from that perspective. He's down in P22 right now. He's just put a move on car 666. Black McLaren there. And we're looking at Lee and Veach right now up the main straight. So Veach in the Jag. Don't see too many Jags. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, that was lucky. That was very close.
He ran super deep. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy on the exit of turn 1. That's with car 44. And it's not over yet. Oh, yeah. It had a sense of inevitability to it, that one, ending like that. So, not too sure how much more damage he could possibly take there without having to pit. Yeah, because he made a little bit of contact with the Nissan ahead of him earlier on in the lap. And then it ended as we did see it. It's a good scrap though, it's fun to watch. This is Petrovic, he's P15 right now in the Mercedes. He's chasing down Rameka. I do apologise if I've not pronounced that correctly. Chris, there we go, we'll just call him Chris. It's a lot easier. But looks like we've still got the 28 with us, which is good. And so we're going to settle down a little bit, and I think we will see some good racing. This is Kenneth Smith. He's racing in the PanAm Rejects Aston Martin. He's chasing down Kenneth Ruston, and that was I think that was Lee and Chris Rameka. So Chris Lee just dropping the spot there. Rameka making it up. It's not over yet. We're looking at Smith and Rushton though, the two behind him, Rameka and Lee. They were duking it out. Through turn 4. V8 versus V8 in the Lexus. A little bit deep there. There was that through 6 and 7 through that chicane, potential passing opportunity. Board. This is with Smith. A bit of an idea of what he's experiencing right now. He's got that Lexus, that rear wing, filling up his windscreen right now. Also Rameka as well. He'll be looking to try and take advantage of this. He's right on the back of these two guys now. So he got past Lee in the Nissan. He rushed a little bit deep there through the final turn. So he gives up a little bit of ground there. Let's see if we can get a bit of a run here. Smith on Ruston. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's Lee. So he was just on the back of this group that we just saw here. And here's the replay on the right-hand side of the screen. That was through 13, and he's gone around 14 by the looks of things. Oh, he got a little tap there. And that was enough to send him around. will have to get going again now. So I think he has. Yeah, he has gotten going again. So back to this battle here. This is for 12th and 11th. And 13th, in fact. So Rustin in 11th, Smith in 12th, Rummaker in 13th. What was a duo has now become a trio. Smith just running a little bit wide through there. Such a challenging part of the circuit, pretty much turns through 6 till 10. Almost say even till 11. As they're going through now into this downhill right-hander at turn 12. Bit of action starting to brew behind these guys between Shuffler, Jimmy and Velez as well. I've got Jimmy driving a Lamborghini today. I don't think I've seen him in anything else other than an Aston Martin. So changing it up a little bit. There on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see that is Petrovic, Shuffler, Jimmy and Velez in 14th, 15th, 16th and 17th on the left-hand side of the screen. And then you've got Rustin, Smith and Rummaker. That's 11th, 12th and 13th on the right-hand side of the screen. If you're wondering about who is leading, it's still Retro Coffin. So he started in P1. That's where he finds himself still. Zhang in second, Van Vliet in third, Granario and Sky in 4th and 5th. Gage Gonzalez, he's already moved up into P10 as Rummaker making the move out of turn 3 on Smith. So he takes that position, and then Jimmy manages to get past Shuffler as well, so he claims P15. So despite the tight confines of the circuit, we're finding plenty of overtaking happening right now, a good sign for the future. We've still got 28 cars running at the moment despite the eventful lap run, so good to see everyone's sticking it out still. You can see there just some lap time comparisons as well. So Rummaker there in 14th. No, 12th, sorry. My mistake. Oh, who's this? This is Diaz. Gonzalez and Diaz. It's a very nicely liveried McLaren there from Diaz. Let's see what Gonzalez can do with him here. Gonzalez last lap, 45.3. Diaz, 46.2. So Gonzalez has got some decent pace, which is what you'd expect. He's racing solo today as well, so he'll be doing the full 3 hours. Not quite close enough, is it? No. So those what would you call those orange? They're not necessarily sausage curbs, are they, Joe? They're kind of like almost sausage pads.
Yeah, a sausage curb. We just call them the sausage.
Just a little bit thicker than a normal sausage. Anyway, Gonzalez though, all over the back of Diaz here. As I was mentioning, yeah, Diaz is in that nicely presented McLaren, that Gulf Oils-esque livery. They've got
Gonzalez.
Chris. Yeah, I was going to say they've got Chris Rise ahead of them as well. So this is all for position. Gonzalez just getting held up there a little bit, so he'll have to regather himself, which I wouldn't think would be too much of a drama for him. 3 different manufacturers as well, the Audi, McLaren and Honda. Last lap around, let's have a look here. Rise was a 46 flat, 45.9. from Diaz and Gonzalez was a 46.3. So we saw him have that little issue towards the end of the lap, hence the slower lap time. So we've got the battle at the front, Van Vliet and Zhang on the left-hand side. That's for second and third. Retro Coffin's about 2.8 seconds up the road from those two. In P1, this is Richardson. Oh, that's Jimmy. He's had an issue there. That was with car 720. That's Petrovic's in the Mercedes. Here we go. Here's the replay. This is out of turn 3. Oh, what happened to Petrovic's there? He almost stopped there. They ran into the back of him. So there's a decent whack that Jimmy got in the Lamborghini there, in the pink Lamborghini.
That was a very odd one. It's like he almost like just grabbed the wrong pedal or something like that. It's just stopped all of a sudden.
Very strange.
Gonzalez has got through on Diaz.
So he continues his charge through the field. He's got Chris Rise in the Audi just up ahead of him. Last lap around for Gonzalez. Say 45.7. And there we go. Oh, a bit of contact. And Rise takes the spot back. Gonzalez runs a little bit wide and he loses another spot to Diaz. So I'm not used to seeing Gage Gonzalez have any sort of issues with overtakes, but we saw it just there. So he's back to where he started. He was behind Diaz when we first picked up this little battle. Trying to make quick work with Diaz again. Been a bit frustrated losing those two spots there. Rise in the meantime, he continues to lead the three here. See if Gonzalez will decide to...
Oh, big contact at the front. We'll have a look at this.
Oh, that's Van Vliet. So Grenario goes through. He's having a little bit of trouble here. Here's the replay. So this is Marcus Van Vliet. So coming through the final turn, we saw two cars already collide there, and he gets a little bit of a tap.
That's an odd one as well. Like there was,
he's
saying is just massive wheel spin on the way out, or it just seems like he was quite slow in an odd spot in an area where he should be back on the throttle. So,
and he was trying to, and Gonzalez runs deep as well. So once again, he loses a spot back to Diaz. So he's having a bit of a tough time of it as well. And that was Pena just up ahead of these two. Yeah. He's him and Townsend. What's happened here? Oh, yep, a little hip and shoulder. And another one by the looks of it. Oh, and then that's a bit awkward. Pena facing the wrong way.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not good to see. Yeah,
and it's continued on for a bit longer. Yeah, that's okay. Let's go back to good timing.
Gonzalez, on the left-hand side there. Here we go, and now Diaz getting past Chris Rise. So these three have all swapped positions in the last few minutes that we've been on them. And I thought, Gonzalez is going to pit. Very, very early pit stop for him. Looked like he did have enough opportunity to pull out of that, so it didn't necessarily look like he was forced into the pit. So an early strategy call from Gage Gonzalez there to just get himself out of this sort of scrap between Chris Rise and Victor Diaz in 8th and 9th. So he'll make his way into the pits there. Keep an eye on his pit stop time as well for everyone. In the meantime, though, Retro Coffin, he has continued to lead this one. He's out in front from Grenario. Steve Sky there in 3rd, Shen and Alves. That's in top 5. But we're looking at Diaz and Rice. This is in 8th and 9th. They've got Van Vliet ahead of them, who was running in the top 3. Obviously had that little issue that we saw before. So hence why he's dropped down into P7th. He's got the fastest lap marker next to his name right now, is where we've already gone over 20 minutes. Here we go on the left-hand side. This is the livery that I was talking about earlier. This is from Poliak. Love it. That's a beautifully turned out BMW.
So there was something we actually missed there, mate. Gonzalez got a drive-through penalty. So with all of that, and he's had been out braking himself and running wide in a few spots, trying to make those gaps up. He has got a drive-through, so yeah, he's going to have to do all that hard work again to come through the field.
That's not going his way right now, but with over 2.5 hours still left. We're in the early stages of this one. He'll have plenty of time. He made up, 14 places within the first few laps, so we know his pace. He's not going to serve the penalty this lap around though, so he's going to go one more.
No, so he served at that previous lap when he
he did.
drove
Okay,
straight
yeah.
through. So, but what that also does is that when you've got a penalty like that, it doesn't reset your stint time. So it's not like you gain any kind of advantage by your stint timer resetting.
Yep. And that would have been why we didn't see him, that he was forced into the pits there as well. Okay, that makes complete sense then. All right, so we missed that the drive-through penalty marker that came up. So quite the gaggle of cars right now from Poliak down. So Poliak in P12 right now. And you got Rustin, Richardson, Gonzalez, Velez in there as well. Gonzalez just making his way past another car, and then still Victor Diaz and Chris Rise on the right hand side there. They're continuing to battle it out. Gonzalez has got Rustin on the left hand side of the screen. You can just see him in that yellow Honda lurking in the background. Here he goes. We go up the inside down the hill. Kind of. To go around the outside now. It's the long way around. Good driving from both of them. Richardson will want to be getting a little piece of the action here as Gonzalez gets the job done from Rustin. Now does that open up the door for Richardson? Can he take advantage of Rustin losing that spot? He's going to go up the inside into turn 1, and I think he gets it done there. We can just see in the background, still up for dispute. And he has managed to get that done, and then Rustin manages to keep Velez behind him as well. So Richardson just able to sneak through with Gonzalez there. So Gonzalez 13th, 14th is Richardson, Rustin 15th, and Velez 16th there. So go through turn 4. Rustin looks like he got a little bit of a wobble through there, and that was enough for Velez to walk through as well. So good start there from Rustin. He's up 7 spots despite losing a couple there, so he's going pretty well for himself already. So those two little setbacks, I don't think will sit too badly with him right now. Oh, this is this 666? I think it is, yeah. Frantisek Noel. So he's back underway. We're looking at the replay here on the right-hand side of the screen. Ooh, is that?
Just grabbed that little bit too much of that curve.
Yeah,
It just bounces as he's trying to turn the car to the right.
Decent
Whack
whack
up again, overcorrects, and yeah, that was a big whack into the fence.
That's the bonnet is up. That's the general indicator that damage is pretty severe. So wouldn't be surprised if we see him making his way into the pits. In the meantime, we're looking at Chris Rummaker and Kenneth Smith. This is for 10th and 11th. And then on the left-hand side, still Victor Diaz and Chris Rise continuing to go at it for 8th and 9th right now. So the Audi is managing to keep his spot ahead of the McLaren there.
We've got Bounty in the chat there. Any Roos boys in this? Yes, Marcus Van Vliet, currently in 7th, was in that battle for 2nd and 3rd with Zhang before that unfortunate contact in the front straight.
Well, that was Jimmy running wide there, but I think he was just getting out of the way. What he's doing, he's down 24th right now, starting 27th. Rise continues to lead here over Diaz in 8th and 9th on the left-hand side of the screen. So we go back to full screen here. Retro Coffin continues to lead comfortably, in fact. Over 40 seconds is the gap between him and Grenario. Steve Sky, he's moved up 6 spots into 3rd. Shen, he's up 4 spots into 4th. Chris Rice had a great start. He's currently in 8th in the blue Audi that we can see on screen. He's moved up 9 spots. Ramaker's up 7. Smith up 4. Gonzalez up 16. Rustin 7. Johnson down in 18th. That's Jake Johnson. He's moved up 8 spots. Some big movers and shakers. Just trying to see who's lost the most. Pena. He's lost 19 positions. He's down in P26 right now. Charles Hode, he's down in 10th as well. Sorry, down in 20th. He started 10th, in fact. As we saw Diaz there. He's got some witness marks on the side of his McLaren right now.
Just have a look at Retro Coffin. He's quite proud of this livery, and just wanted to make sure I showed it off. He's done a good job here, that's for sure. Wanted to make sure that everyone could see it prior to the race, so make sure that everyone in the news does see it. And shout out to his performance so far. I think he's been very solid with pole and continued on while all these dramas have happened behind him. He's done a great job.
What does it say on the front there, Joe?
Did someone call a doctor?
Doctor.
I think there might be a few people who need a doctor after this race.
Or maybe a masseuse, more a masseuse after a 3-hour enduro if you're doing it solo. But yeah, very, very nicely turned out car and not a scratch on it right now. And he's in P1. He's loving life at the moment. That's where he started. He's only one of 2 cars that have not moved a spot. So Alves is the other one. He's remained in P5. That's where he started in the Ferrari. The only Ferrari in the field. But it's a Porsche 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Coffin, Grenario and Sky. Which you'd have to expect around a track like this would definitely suit the more nimble Porsche. But I guess it's more of a case of can you actually drive it? One of the more difficult cars to wrap your head around. Definitely not for the faint of heart.
So North is just got by on Johnson, it happened down the straight. So more of a battle between the two, but it was pretty straightforward, that pass.
So North, he's up into 18th. He's dropped down 7 spots, in fact. So his starting position was 11th. So the 48-minute stint is finishing in about 16 minutes as of right now. So that is when we will see the scheduled pit stops. Let's see how things shake out after that. But yeah, Diaz, and looks like Diaz managed to get past Rise, and he's just pulling away a little bit there now. So managing to move up into P8. And yeah, he's starting to gap Rise. Let's have a look at the last lap. Diaz did a 46.6. Rise did a 47.9, so Diaz definitely had the significant advantage on the last lap around there. And yeah, we've gone through the first half an hour already, and fair to say it was pretty action-packed. But Retro Coffin was able to make his way through without any dramas whatsoever. And he's leading it right now. And the field now relatively spread out, so through all the excitement earlier on. So Rise down there in 9th, he's 1.5 seconds behind Diaz. Not lapping fast enough right now to really be catching him. What about Ramika down there as well? He's 1.5 seconds behind Kenneth Smith. He was lapping at 46 flat from the last lap around. Smith did a 45.7, so it's a tight little tussle that's going on there. But Diaz continuing to lap quicker than Chris Rise. So Diaz on that last lap around. 46.247, a 46.9 to Rise. So Diaz having the advantage there in the McLaren as he sits in P8 right now. This is Ramika. He's got Gonzalez behind him as well. So that last lap, Ramika did a 46.2, Gonzalez did a 46.1, and the man that they're chasing, Smith, did a 46.122, so pretty even pace amongst Smith, Rummaker and Gonzalez in 10th, 11th and 12th. Then just having a look at the other close battle on circuit is Alex Shen. He's in 4th position. He's chasing down Steve Sky in the Porsche. Their lap time's very, very short because they're about to cross the line now. So we'll see what they come in at. So Sky did a 45.387. Shen did a 45.740. So Sky having the advantage on that previous one. Their fastest laps, 45 flat from Sky and a 44.9 from Shen. So the pace between Sky and Shen, very, very even Stevens right now in the early parts of this one. But we've got some nice little battles starting to brew at the moment, especially Gonzalez. He's starting to catch the back of Ramika. Gonzalez, who served the that drive through and did start from the rear of the grid. He's in P12 chasing down Ramika in 11th in the Aston Martin. And we've got Alex Shen here on the screen. I think that's an in-game livery though on the Honda, although it does look very nice. like the orange, white and black. Makes me think of, what's that hardware store in America? Oh, Home Depot. That's it. Got a bit of a Home Depot kind of vibe.
Yeah, it does too, actually. Yeah, agree with that.
Yeah. What would the Australian version? That'd be Bunnings.
Yeah, Bunnings or Mitre 10, that sort of thing.
Well, Mitre 10's quite an iconic livery as well on the old AU Falcon for
Mark Larkham.
Mark
back in the
Larkham.
day.
Yeah, a long time ago now. Showing my age, that's for sure. Was that Stone Brothers, I think? No, was it? No, he's
Larkham Motorsport then ended up as Stone Brothers.
Yeah. So Shen, he lapped a 146.5. That last lap around. Alves in the Ferrari behind him, a 45.495, so significantly quicker. So I wonder if Shen had a little bit of an issue there on that previous lap. Gonzalez continues to chip away. Starting to get a lot closer now. He managed to get past Rummaker without any dramas. And
Field's quite spread out now as well, so
yeah.
There's quite a few blue flags being shown around the place. And we'll go have a look at
Gonzalez. Yeah, here we go. He's all over the back of Kenneth Smith right now as they come out of turn 3. 2 into 1 generally doesn't go at turn 4, but he manages to sneak through there without any dramas. So he moves himself back up into P10. So despite starting in P28, serving an early drive-through penalty, he's worked himself up to a very competitive P10 right now. Just hit that sausage curve a little bit awkwardly there, unsettled the car out of turn 7, but not enough to bring him undone there. So as you point out, Joe, traffic will play a bit of a part around here. We could see quite a few blue flags being waved. And just having a look. Oh, yeah, that was Jimmy. I don't know what's happened to Jimmy today. Where did he qualify? Qualified 27th. Down in 23rd right now, so he's moved up 4 spots, but just seeing him up a little bit further. Perhaps it is getting familiar with the Lamborghini we see him normally in the Aston Martin. But we're looking at Connolly right now in the Lexus. That wasn't for position, that was the Ferrari of Alves who went through there. So a few Lexuses in the field today. I think 3, which is nice to see. Here we go. Here's Jimmy. He's got Veach ahead of him in the Jag. That's very rare that you see Jag. So Warwick Veach, he's decided that's the car for him today. And him and Jimmy are going at it. On the left-hand side though, oi, that's a little bit awkward as well. That is car number 45. That is Marcus Van Vliet. He's all over the back of Zhang there in the Lamborghini in 6 and 7. So this is 4th position. They got the back marker in the picture with them as well. You see the blue flag waving on the left-hand side. Looks like Zhang's going to be able to get through without any dramas. That was Johnson in the McLaren who's having the blue flags waved at him. Jimmy managed to get past there as well. No, he's still behind, so he's fallen off the back of Veach as well. But Marcus Van Vliet, see, he started P2, he had that drama early on, and he's working hard to recover right now. We're not too far away from driver swaps. So 41, just a tick over 41 minutes have gone. 48-minute driver swap is what we have in place for this race. And Van Vliet, who does own the fastest lap of the race so far, currently in P6 after starting P2 and having a little drama earlier on as well. So he's working his way back through the field and managed to get past Zhang there. So back up into 6th as it sits. Jimmy is right back on the back of the Veach again. Down there in 21st and 22nd for those two. They've got Polyak, but he is currently P13, so this is lap traffic for him. You see the blue flags being waved by the marshals. Tough track to pass, but also tough track to get out of the way as well. You know, not a lot of room out there. And as mentioned, not a lot of runoff, so it is one of those old school tracks. As Jimmy going around the outside. Still going to continue at it. And he will still stay glued to the rear of that Jag belonging to Veach. Polyak will just be hoping to breeze by these two down the front straight. It's probably the easiest part to do it in. Flashing the lights, giving a not so subtle hint to Jimmy. Car number 69, that pink Lamborghini, eyes forward, laser focus on the rear of the Jag. Turn 3. Great camera angle here, setting it up to turn 4. Haven't seen any track limitations infringements coming up yet. 45 minutes into this one. Having a look at lap times, 48.4 last time around to Veach, 47.9 to Jimmy. Polyak doing 48 flat. Now Polyak's got Richardson behind him. That is for position as well. That didn't look like a healthy connection from Polyak. So this is going to be super interesting. He's been behind these two for a good lap and a half now. Blue flags have been waving, but Jimmy and Veach, they come together. Veach goes around, they make contact. Polyak avoids, so does Richardson, and I think Polyak is going into the pits. Yes, he is. So pretty close to the pit, the stint timer, and Veach will continue on as well. And we've got the replay here, so it was just through 13 and a little bit of contact there in the left rear panel, and that was enough to turn the Jaguar around. Polyak ducks into the pits, Richardson scoots through, and Jimmy takes a position. So he's currently sitting now, we're a 17th position, and a lot of pit stops happening right now as well.
So a couple of things we have missed is that there was a drive-through for car 10. So that was Chase Donnelly, who's sitting in the pits at the moment. There's more cars in the pit now.
Yep, that's Van Vliet, Alves, Chang. So that was 5th, 6th, 4th, 5th and 6th, I believe. Retro Coffin hasn't made his stop. And then this is where driver slots are going to be happening as well. So we'll see some new names on the leaderboard. Gonzalez is one of those cars in the pits right now. We've got Retro Coffin. Who's that? Oh, that's car number 19. That is Chris North for PanAm Racing. He's just come unstuck there. I think that was turn 4 by the looks of it. This is a replay. This is 26. That's out of 7. That's car 44. That's Chris Shuffler in the Lexus. Oh, I think we saw it. Was there another penalty that came through there, Joe, as well? I think I just missed it. Might have been another drive-through penalty for someone in the midst of all of that as well. So that is the obvious risk. Making your way through the pits, making sure you've got that limiter button pressed for the whole time. And this is getting pretty hairy through turn 4 and 5 on the left-hand side of the screen. We're just watching the replay on the side. That's
back into it now.
No, that's all right. So
that's,
this is... Yeah.
That's for position. So that was for position, that one. That's Alves has been passed by Gafford, who was taken over from Van Vliet. So that is, they've moved up the field now.
Right now, they've dropped 3 spots. They started up higher. Now Gafford, he is racing with Marcus Van Vliet. So that's the who's that on the right hand side? That is a Honda.
That's Alex Shen.
Yep. Where's he sitting? But anyway, he's back up and running. So yeah, Gafford, partner of Marcus Van Vliet. Here we go.
Oh, so there was contact there.
Yeah, yep.
So that's Tony Rodriguez. Well, it is he was partnered with Shen.
Seen that a bit already. Seen plenty of cars making contact with other cars in this one already.
Yeah, there seem to. There's a lot of cars running very, very deep. To these braking zones and making contact, so it's quite an odd one.
Tracked at optimum. It's been an optimum for the whole time. It's 22 degrees air temperature, 27 degrees track temperature. So there's here's another replay. This is out of turn 3 into 4. And just holds on. Just runs deep into 5. That's always horrible when that happens, when it's happening like in slow motion.
Been there many a time.
Yeah. It's almost my default setting. Okay, on the left-hand side though, have a look at this. This is, I think this is Gafford, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Gafford, Alves, Rodriguez. Skazowski. I do apologise for butchering your surname there. So Rodriguez in there, but this is Alves trying to put the move on Gafford. So coming through the final right-hander, turn 14 to begin another lap. We're almost a third race distance, so we've gone through the first set of driver stints already. Guys that swapped earlier on, so they're going to be on a different sort of cadence, if you like, with the driver stints. I think there's 7 in total that are doing it solo. The rest have got a 2-man team, 2-person team, pronouns. Let's have a look at lap times. Gafford does hold the fastest lap of the race. Where are we? Gafford? 1:43.8. It's a cracking time around here. But so Gafford did a 47.6. Alves did a 47.2. And Rodriguez did a 46.3. He's the faster of of the trio right now in that Honda. That's Tony Rodriguez. He's replaced Alex Shen after his first stint. So much easier when you know the team names. It's a pretty even pace amongst these three. Rodriguez was the fastest for the last lap around. 46.3, significantly faster in fact. We're looking from the rear of Gafor. At the front of Alves. They're in 4th and 5th. Weaving down the front straight, trying to break the toe. Not uncommon to see cars going 3 wide into turn 1. Gafor able to maintain. Rodriguez trying to move his way past Alves there. So Gafor just remains a little bit immune from what's going on behind him. And Rodriguez is going to chase down Alves. It's a very nice scrap going on right now for 4th, 56. It's what you like to see. The front of the field all duking it out. Retro Coffin, he continues to lead and he's led the entire race so far. He started lap 1, P1. And that is where he finds himself, almost a 3rd race distance now. So, one of the oldest, one of the most sort of overused phrases, I guess. Still a long way to go on this one. Stop go cleared by car 33. That was Matt. I don't even want to try that surname. Car number 33 down in 15th. Smolkowski. Once again, my apologies, Matt. In the meantime, back to this battle at the front here. They've got Stu Skinner not too far up ahead as well. He's jumped in the car as the Lexus, just doing the right thing and pulling to the hard right of the circuit to let these guys through. This is good stuff to watch right now. More blue flags waving. I think that's Ho in the Honda who's going to let these guys through. Awkward part of the circuit to make it happen, but he does a good job there. Oh, Rodriguez! Almost going side by side through turn 4. I'll tell you what, that is pushing your luck. Either binning it or copping a track limitations warning as well. So they hustle their cars through 6 and 7, a little chicane there. But this is good stuff, it's heating up. We've got new drivers in there, they're fresh, they're ready to go. They've been waiting patiently for their shot. And now they're making the absolute most of it. So this race has started to heat up a little bit. 992 track limitations. That's Stu Skinner. He gets a drive-through penalty. So did mention it earlier, and it's come to fruition for Stu Skinner, unfortunately for him. And he's serving that penalty straight away. So Steve Sky, he did the first stint. And now Stu Skinner going to serve that penalty as we're back to Rodriguez. Looking to go around the outside of Alves in the Ferrari. Can he make it stick? Alves is going to fight tooth and nail for it. As Gage Gonzalez goes the fastest lap of the race at 1:43.7. He's there in P6 right now, solo driver. So no, oh, that was Gafor running wide there through turn 3. He's been gobbled up by Alves. Rodriguez is going to try and sneak through as well as they go through turn 4. Poe's having a good time. He's just he's just hanging out in the background, watching all of this unfold in front of him. He's a lap car in all of this. But this race has come alive once again. As we're looking at the scrap for 3rd, 4th and 5th and 6th. Stu Skinner, he's dropped down into 7th position. So after serving that drive-through penalty.
So Gonzalez is on the charge. He was 2.1 seconds quicker than Rodriguez on that previous lap. So he can catch up to these guys pretty quickly. This battle continues on. Blue flags, lap cars coming up as well. It's all pretty dicey. There's contacts.
Almost. We've seen that happen numerous times already in the first hour of racing. They're going to go side by side up the main straight. Rodriguez, can he get on the brakes a little bit later? Yes, he can. Ooh, almost contact. Oh, overshoots it. Gaffor's going to be able to take this place back straight away. Gaffor's going to try and hold on here. Rodriguez thought he was almost going to send it into turn 2. Man, he's right on it. Tony Rodriguez, he's all about it right now. He's out there fighting and scratching and clawing his way. And the drive-through, another one, 5:04 track limits. That is Pena. So Santiago Pena has not had a very good time so far, and that's a little bit of salt in the wound for him. So he's down there in P23. He is serving his penalty now, so he's manages to come in straight away.
The start of the previous lap, Gonzalez was 17 seconds away from these guys, and it is now down to less than 12 seconds while these guys have been scrapping this out. So he's going to be on these guys very quickly.
Absolutely on it right now. Gage Gonzalez, 43.6, so he sets consecutive fastest laps of the race. And these guys, if they continue to scrap amongst themselves, this is going to play into the hands of Gage Gonzalez, who will close up on these guys in absolutely no time at all. Rodriguez not quite close enough to have a look at before into turn 1. Makes up a little bit of ground under brakes there, but not enough. There's more blue flags are being waved just ahead of these guys, so they're going to have a little bit of traffic up ahead of them. There's about 4 cars grouped together, 4 or 5 cars grouped together. So this is going to be very interesting. This was always going to be one of the challenges of the circuit, having lapped cars and the tight confines of the Hungaroring. As there's a Mercedes who makes a little excursion across the grass there, up ahead of these two. Slow moving Lexus getting out of the way, so nice work to them. Not too sure who that was exactly, might have been Ruston possibly. As you can see, there's the traffic, little number 55 there with the orange ring around it. That's where they are on the circuit, and you can see this is what they've got up ahead of them right now. Gives you a little bit of context there of what they're experiencing, and that helicopter angle as well illustrates it perfectly. In terms of lap times between these two, Gaffor a 45.570, 45.937 to Rodriguez on the last time. And we saw a flash of the yellow Honda in the background. Gonzalez taking out about another second of these guys. Keep an eye on his lap times too, as both these guys cross the line.
It's the 4 cars on the left, that's all for position. That is 10th through to 13th. Brand, Velez, Riggs and Richardson.
Oh, here's Rodriguez. Here he goes. Can he send it down the inside of turn turn 2, sorry. He can, so he gets past the Porsche. Finally, he's managed to find his way past Gafor. And he claims P4 right now in the Honda. That was nice work from Tony Rodriguez. He's been looking for a way past for a little while now. Manages to get it done. So nice work from the 55 Honda. His teammate Alex Shen will be cheering him on in the background. And we're having a look here. This is for who have we got here? We've got Brand, Velez, Riggs. Oh, Alves, the Ferrari. He's come unstuck. So that is just at turn 8. So what happened? Here we go, right hand side of the screen. This will tell the story right here. He's run a little bit wide onto the marbles. Oh no! That was just 3 into 1. Didn't go there. So Alves, the solo Ferrari in the pack, he drops down into P6 right now is where we find him. Back to this scrap from Velez and Brand. Skinner, he swaps positions with Shea. He drops a position, sorry, to Shea. Split screen action happening right now. So it hasn't been a great start to this stint for Stu Skinner. He copped the drive-through penalty. And yeah, he's lost a couple of spots as well. That's Chris Rise, who's running deep in the Audi. That's Eric Lloyd, sorry. Chris Rise was in the first stint. Eric Lloyd is now in the car. Gonzalez as well. He's moved up into P5. His pace is not as hot as it was, but he was setting fastest laps of the race. Still pretty quick though, 44.2. He was circulating in. I do believe that was the only driver in the 44s on that last lap. Low 44.2 or 44.3. Closest to that was Retro Coffin in a 45 flat. And this is Piasic down in P26. One of the Lexuses. What is putting for Lexus? Stop go penalty, drive through, stop go, sorry, for Beach. That is P21. No, P22. P22 in the Jag. He gets a stop go penalty. 30 seconds next to his name. This is Riggs, so he's in the car. He's new. He was for Poliak. And Richardson, I think he might be a solo driver, Richardson. I'm not sure. I'll double check that in a moment. You know, he's Neil Berovitz is his teammate, but they didn't swap at the first pit stop, so he's doing a double stint right now. He did have that earlier incident at the beginning of the race, but has managed to recover so far as we've gone past the first hour. But Retro Coffin continues to lead this one. Blue flags continue to wave. He get a pretty tight arm today.
That's Retro Coffin has just gone through on these guys.
Yep, so he has to deal with the traffic just like everyone else, but seems to be making light work of it. Circulating in a 1:45.6 on that last lap around, not too bad. Giving a bit of context, Gonzalez in a 44.7 on that last lap. Yeah, Oh, that was the Lexus just getting out of the way there. Got Eric Lloyd on the left-hand side of the screen. This is Joshua Piasek. Replay here, and that's through 8. Oh, car spun up ahead of him. Oh, he's just clipped him. He almost got away with that, and then I think that around not bad, but just a bit unfortunate getting caught up in someone else's drama.
While that was happening, Lloyd got through on Skinner.
It's just Skinner continues to drop back, circulating in the 48s. That's in the lower part. So lap traffic playing its part as you would have expected around here, considering the grid of 28. We're down to 27, so we've lost one along the way, but I reckon that's not too bad for an hour.
It's pretty dicey for Retro Coffin here.
Yeah, I was going to say he had the lights flashing down the front straight as well. So
there's
no!
contact!
Oh, that was an
Brand.
Aston. Yeah. 555. Yep. Albert Brand. I think Coffin managed to get away with that though. He didn't go around. And hasn't cost him too much time. So a close call for our race leader. Here's Richardson on Riggs. McLaren versus BMW. And who was that closing in on them?
That was Retro Coffin.
Yeah, he's been in the wars this lap around. He's had a few different things thrown at him so far.
He can also chill out a little bit and let some of this go. He's got a 32-second lead. He was very lucky to get away with that one then. The damage could have been a lot worse.
In the background there, Jimmy. Having a look where he is on the leaderboard. No, he's not in the car at the moment. Car number 69. That's Matt Arantz. He's in there at the moment. So Jimmy's completed his first up. But on the left-hand side of the screen, we're watching the BMW of Riggs hunt down Richardson in the McLaren. The blue flag being waved in the background. Les just up ahead of them in the Aston Martin. So this is for 11th and 12th. And Velez just up there in 10th spot with Stu Skinner just ahead of him. Well, 27 seconds up the road in fact. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit in the car. So he's jumping in, Stu Skinner. Still just getting acclimated here. Gap still out in front just after that little bit of excitement, a little bit of drama that was ahead of Retro Coffin, who's just on the back of these guys right now. There's still 32 seconds the gap between him and Graziossi. I think that's how you pronounce it. My apologies if it isn't. So still remaining over 30 seconds the lead. Right now, drive-through cleared for car 720. That was Petrovic's in the Mercedes. Down there in 19th position right now. We're watching Martin Riggs. Retro Coffin's managed to get his way through, so the race leader coming through. Once he clears these next few cars, he should have a bit of clear air for a while, but no doubt it'll swing back around again. Having a look at stint timers, still a good 20 to 25 minutes away from seeing another round of pit stops. What's happening to Chris Lee in the Curtisley, sorry. Yeah, Mecha Gojira. That's a interesting team name.
I think Curtis Lee was getting out of the way of the second group of the leading. Rodriguez, Gafor, Gonzalez, covered by 10 seconds. Those guys out there 6 seconds behind. It seems to be. It is tightening up amongst that group, and they're catching Graziosi in front there.
Yeah. So he's lapping 46.2 was his last lap around. But Rodriguez at 44.6, 45.2 to Gafor, 45.7, 45.3. So Gonzalez and Alves as well. So he's going to have to pick up the pace. Rodriguez is 4.7 seconds, 5 seconds behind him now. So keep a close eye on that as it unfolds. Right now, we've got Riggs. 48.1 was his last lap around. He's chasing down Richardson. Gap's just a tick over a second between those two. And the pink Lamborghini in the background, that's not full position. So that's car number 69, Matt Arantz. He is down there in P20 right now. So a bit of work to do to get himself back on the lead lap. Having a look at Eric Lloyd. So the team is very disappointed in Chris Rice. I think a pretty solid run right now. Let's have a quick look. They're up 9 spots. So they started 17th, 9 into 8th. They're having a great run of it right now, which is good stuff to see. I think he was in the chat saying that they're after a top 10. And only a quarter of an hour, just over, away from the halfway mark, and they're looking pretty good right now. So last lap around for Lloyd, a 46.4. He's about to complete another one. Let's see if he improves on that. He's got Shea up the road, 1.5 seconds in the McLaren, 46 flat, so he does improve on his previous time. The only disappointing part about that though is Shea was just marginally quicker on that last one. So he did go faster, but not making up a lot of ground right now on Shea in the McLaren, who's up there in P7. He is teammate of Victor Diaz, sharing the McLaren together. This is Eastcott down here in 16th position. He's chasing down car number 33. Matt. I'm not going to go any further than that. You're good at pronunciations, Joe. You always get them spot on. How would you pronounce P15? Matt, how would you pronounce that?
I don't know. I might have crack at this one myself. It's, yeah.
I won't put you in it. We'll just call him Matt. Car number 33 in the Lamborghini. That is the McLaren just getting out of the way there. Now that's is that Graziosi? It is coming through. What was his last lap? 45.8. So slower than Rodriguez, slower than Coffin. So the car ahead, the car behind are faster than him right now. Gaforge at a 46.5. Gonzalez a 44.5. Yeah. Oh, round he goes. That's Eastcott. I just lost it out of turn 4. Luckily, just gets out of the way. This is out of 3. Now going up the hill. And just lost the back end just on the entry, and around he went. Chris Rise, let's go. We want P7. Chris Rise and Eric Lloyd. Oh, they want P7. Graziosi makes a little bit of contact there with the Lamborghini. I think that was car number 33, Matt. They just made a slight bit of contact as he was coming through. And doesn't look like he's lost any time there. So he should be all right. Here's Gonzalez, though. He's all over the back of the Porsche belonging to Fahar Kafour. This is for 4th and 5th right now. Gonzalez doing this 3-hour solo today. Tucked into the rear wing. Pulls out of the draft. And not quite close enough to have a go into turn 1. The beauty of this track, though, is you can still keep it going. You might be able to make your way past it turn 3. Turn 4 is very high risk, and then as you pointed out earlier in the broadcast, Joe, it's pretty much single file from turn 6 to about turn 11, and they've got traffic up ahead. Gafour flashing the headlights, giving the signal. Blue flags waving as well. He's got pressure from in front, he's got pressure from behind. He get out of the way and let them through. So that ended up being diffused pretty quickly between those two. And Gafour, though, this is not over. He's still got plenty of pressure behind. Here's Richardson. He's all over the back of Velez in the Aston Martin. That is 10th and 11th on the left-hand side as Richardson pulls out of the draft, sends it up the inside, runs a little bit deep. Can he recover it? Velez is going to go up the inside. That's going to be the optimum line through there. Richardson and the McLaren fighting back. He'll have the inside line for turn 2. They're going to go side by side. You get the feeling this is not quite over yet. They'll still scrap it out going into turn 3, but it looks like Richardson just about gets it done. Velez is going to challenge him up to turn 4, so he's going to keep that pressure poured on. Gonzalez, on the other hand, he's going to do a repeat of what we've just saw now. Tucks into the draft, goes up the inside, and this time, this lap around, he can get it done. So Richardson took that position, and Gonzalez, he takes P4 away from Gafour on the charge. 45.750 was that lap around for him, a 45.8 to Gafour, who's going to fight back now. So this is not over yet. Gonzalez is going to have to fight hard through turn 3. I think they've got a little bit of traffic up ahead. Yeah, they do. That's the Lamborghini. That belongs to... I'm not too sure who that belongs to just yet. Give me a moment. But hopefully we saw Graziosi have a little bit of difficulty. He made contact with that Lamborghini a couple of laps ago as well, as Gonzalez just riding those sausage curbs through 6 and 7. The Lamborghini gets out of the way. Nice work from him. And Gonzalez continue their way through. So this is, Gonzalez has moved his way from P28, got a drive-through penalty, and despite that, finds himself in P4 right now, and in strong contention for this one. As we go back to Rumiko, we saw him earlier on in some nice little scraps. He finds himself just behind Brand here. This is 13th and 14th respectively. That's a Lexus, that's a lap traffic Lexus, so they'll get out of the way. Blue flags continuing to wave. Nice work from him. And lets these two continue battling it on from 13th and 14th on track. We are not far away, would you believe it, from the halfway mark of this one. It's still Retro Coffin leading the way. He's not relinquished P1 throughout the entire race. Graziosi, P2, Rodriguez 3rd, Gonzalez 4th, Gafour 5th. But we're looking at the action down in 13th and 14th. This is Aston Martin versus Aston Martin. And that is Stu Skinner. So this stint has not gone well at all for him. He's just continued to have difficulties. Finds himself down there in P9 as we dial up the replay. Let's see what happened here. Oh, that was was an odd one. That was really strange.
That's
Through
almost a mechanical type failing of the wheel, the way that it's just
jerk
gone
to
on
the
him.
left. Yeah, really odd.
Would expect if that was going to happen, it'd be happening a little bit further through the corner. It just looks like it's been ripped out of his hands. So, yeah, it's an odd one.
So back to 13th and 14th, Brandon Rummaker. This is great stuff from these two Aston Martin drivers. They make their way down the start-finish line again. Close enough to make a move. So that last lap around, Brand did a 1:48.3. Rummaker did a 1:48.180. So extremely close on the times. Good stuff. Rummaker is the teammate of Stephen Tomazic, and Albert Brand is the teammate of Kenneth Smith. I'm sure those two drivers will be watching on with a lot of anticipation right now. A little bit of heart in the mouth stuff. What about the stint time? Starting to get a little bit closer again. 35, 37 minutes into this stint. So another sort of 10 minutes or so away from seeing the next round of pit stops. No mandatory tyres or fuel in this one, just the minimum 48-minute, maximum 48-minute driver stint. But Rummaker just looking for a way past here. Last round, Brand, 48.3, about a tenth or so ahead of Rummaker. We'll see what it's like this time as they head up the start-finish straight again. Can Rummaker just get a nice run out of the final turn? Not really. So we're 47.6 to Brand, 47.8 to Rummaker. That's not going to cut it right now. Yeah, interesting with the 48-minute stint limit. It's essentially 3.75 stints. So see if you kind of got one up your sleeve a little bit in terms of you can cut short, which might help this strategy. Could be even in this case here. We'll wait and see what these guys decide to do. Other battles throughout the field. I can see Eric Lloyd as well. He's all over the back of Shea as Rummaker and Brand continue to go at it. You see the pictures there on the left-hand side of the screen. That's the blue Audi belonging to Eric Lloyd. Chris Rise will be in the car on the next stint, presumably. Did the first stint. But these are two of the battles that we've got on circuit right now as we loom ever closer to the halfway mark of the 3-hour enduro of Hungaroring and Rummaker looking to make that spot up from Brand. Can he get it done? I think he can. Nice work. Joe pointed out that that is a overtaking opportunity through there, but you don't see it as often. Probably the first time we've seen it so far this race. Can he hold on? Brand will look to make a move up the inside into turn 1, but doesn't eventuate. Kind of can't take a breath until about turn 3, when it's generally really over, but managed to get that done. So nice work from him. Graciosi is in the pits, so he's making an early stop right now in terms of the stint time. About sort of 7 or 8 minutes left on that. We're looking at Caden Richardson right now. He's in 9th. He's just overtaken Stu Skinner, who then is coming under attack again from Luis Velez. the background there, and then we still continue to watch Eric Lloyd trying to get his way past Shea right now. This is heating up between Richardson, Skinner and Velez. I think they've got some lap traffic up ahead of them as well. I saw the blue flags being waved feverishly from the marshals on the side of the circuit. And then they've got Arantz in there as well, throwing him in the mix. He is a lapped car right now in that bright pink Lamborghini. The Lexus does the right thing, gets out of the way. Nice driving from him. And Velez just trying to take advantage of that horsepower disparity between the Porsche and the Aston. Front straight, not quite long enough to really get it put into full effect. Skinner on that lap around a 48.3. Velez did a 47.5. The car ahead of them, that's Caden Richardson, he did a 47 flat, so he was the fastest of the trio. And Skinner, unfortunately, he's the meat and the sandwich right now. He was the slower of the three, 48.3. As Eric Lloyd manages to get past Shea, who I think might have made a little bit of a mistake there, as the gap is already quite large between him and Eric Lloyd. So Lloyd, that blue Audi is on the charge. Those guys have had a great start to this one. You can see on the replay here. Oh, he just got up on the, yeah, big mistake there. Just got up on the curb there, enough to unsettle the car. Just did a little bit of wall riding and let Eric Lloyd through there. So I don't think it would have caused too much issue. And Shea should be able to continue on there without any dramas. In the meantime, we're back to the battle live. This is Eastcott. And he's just taken a position. So he moves up into P15 as pit stops not too far away at all. About another, you can see anything in between the next sort of 3 to 7 minutes. You should start to see them all filter through. We can see Gilbert, Rustin, Johnson, they're all in the pits right now. They're taking advantage of it. In the meantime though, Eastcott, he's 28 seconds up the road, down the road, sorry, from Brand. So plenty of work cut out for him in the Porsche. That battle that we were looking at before, Stu Skinner and Richardson. Saw some red markers, but it's for pit stop. So before, and Tony Rodriguez, they're in the pits right now as well. Last lap around from Skinner, who's on the screen here, chasing Richardson. So a 46.9 to Richardson, 47.2 to Skinner. And with the other cars pit stopping right now, the team of Chris Ryan and Eric Lloyd do need to make their pit stops, but they're out there in P4. And we saw our race leader just briefly on the screen there, Retro Coffin. He's currently still P1. He's got Gage Gonzalez 34 or nearly 35 seconds down the road from him, as we are at the halfway mark of the 3-hour enduro of the Hungaroring for PanAm Racing. Hope you're enjoying the stream. It's been a good race. It started off very eventful. We had a little bit of a lull. And then after the first round of pit stops, this race really picked up again. And I dare say we're probably at that stage again where we're going to see those pit stops start to cycle through. And the action once again. But it has been coming pretty thick and fast. This man here, he started in P28. He currently finds himself P2 despite the drive-through penalty. Gage Gonzalez running solo. The front two, in fact, are both solo drivers, Retro Coffin and Gage Gonzalez, P1 and P2. Mateus Alves. He's a solo driver as well. So solo drivers 1, 2, and 3. Maybe that's the way to go around the Hungaroring. We'll have to wait and see. We've got obviously another hour and a half still to go on this one as Gonzalez is making his way through some lap traffic right now. That was car 555. That's Brand in the Aston Martin. As Eric Lloyd, he makes his way into the pits out of P4. We'll see if Chris Rise jumps into it from there. Those boys have had a great race so far. So up 10 spots from where they started. Best in the race other than Matt Arantz and Gage Gonzalez. Arantz and his teammate are up 10 spots. Gonzalez up 26. So some big movers and shakers. That pit lane starting to get a lot busier than it has been in recent times. As we're watching Van Vliet. He's got Shen up the road from him in the Honda. So it's a Porsche P157. 157 Porsches. Alves, another solo driver, is in the pits. Obviously, with the pit limiter. Oh, Marcus Van Vliet! What a save! What a time to be on board. Saw the full opposite block there. That was a big time save. He doesn't manage to pull it up for 67. Ooh, that was big time. Might have been a bit of code brown for him in P7. His teammate Fahad Ghaffar, who's just handed over to him, so just reacclimatising himself with the car there. Almost cost him dearly, but that's probably the best wake-up call, isn't it? Getting it. But he's back up and running, so he's down there in P7 right now. He's got Sky, so he would have just been handed over from Stu Skinner. Oh, he's run deep there through the chicane. Yeah, just with the driver swaps, guys coming back in. They've been out for 3/4 of an hour, just getting themselves back into the groove of things. So, Guy, they've dropped down 2 spots. Les started P12. That's where they've stayed. They're going to take a position each from Eastcott, who's in the pits. Gonzalez is in the pits, and that's car number. Is that 666 again? Yeah, it is. That 666 McLaren. Let's see the replay here. Oh. We saw something similar with the Porsche. Do something very similar. Oh, that was okay in the end there. Just re-entering the circuit. No. Frantisek no. Here we go. Here's Shen now. They're in P4. 0.5 seconds behind Granirio in the Porsche. So he's fresh in there. No, he's not. Hang on. Yeah, Granirio for Graziosi. And Alex Shen, he'd be in there for Rodriguez as well, for Tony Rodriguez, who put in a fine stint. So they find themselves right now in P4 in the Honda. That's a laps car, the Aston. That is, I believe that's Tomazic. Who's in there? I think that's Velez, who's his co-driver. Working his way past. Now on the left-hand side, I think that's Ho. That is for position between those two. This is I'm gonna go with Saraszowski. Give that a go. Here we go. So this is that's Veach. He's been in the wars today in that Jaguar. He's down there in P23. Let's have a look at the replay on this one. Out of 2, 3. This will be at turn 4. Oh no, turn 3 goes wrong. Oh, that was Sky coming through, so he almost got taken out. He had to guess which way to go, and he guessed correctly. That was Gonzalez going through. I wonder if that's Poliak back in the car. It is. Back to Chris North. He's got Petrovic ahead of him, so this is in 18th and 19th. This is a Porsche versus Mercedes battle. Through turn 4. He's going to go around the outside there at turn 5 for Chris North. This is unorthodox. 6 and 7, as Joe mentioned, pretty much nose to tail through there. It's a one line out of the track. On the left-hand side of the screen, that Shen, it makes a little bit of contact again with that Jaguar with Veach as well. So he's just a magnet today. He can't stay out of it right now. As North and Petrovic. This is going to be a drag up the front straight. He's a bit squirrely out of the final turn, but I think North is going to be able to take him. He is, so that Porsche's going to hold on. He goes a little bit defensive there just to cover the line into turn 1 and cut off any attempt from Petrovic to make a comeback there as Alves. He's in the pits. Is that scheduled for Alves?
No, it's a stop-go 30.
There we go. So we missed that. That's on my timing screen. I didn't read it. There you go. So Alves. He is Mateus Alves, solo driver for this race. He started P5, finds himself in P8 right now. He's got a couple of little scraps and bumps along the way. As Gage Gonzalez ramping up again, a 43.4. Fastest lap of the race.
Go on board with him for a lap.
while we were watching that, what an enjoyable lap that was with Gage Gonzalez. So Alves was in the pits when we saw him earlier, but that he's just come in again to serve that top go penalty. So I think how many pit stops has he done? Pit count 5.
5 pit stops there.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's been in there a fair bit already. This is Granirio. Oh, that Porsche. Almost submarining there. He's got Shen right behind him, I believe. Yeah, that is Shen. So lap times Granirio 45.155. 44.905 to Shen, so he's all over the back of that Porsche right now. Alex Shen. Tony Rodriguez was in the previous stint, did a fantastic job, and Alex Shen is just picking up right where Rodriguez left off. Watching from the rear of Alex Shen on the left hand side there. Right hand side, 5 pictures. See what sort of times they put in this lap around, and it's nothing between them. 45.057 to a 0.37 to Shen. So Granirio just picking up the pace ever so slightly. Runs a little bit deep there into turn 1. And the gap between these two, 1.3 seconds right now is the difference. The gap between Gonzalez and Coffin was out as much as 34 seconds, currently at 22 seconds. Gonzalez lapped a 1:44.592 on that previous lap. Coffin was a 44.660, so slightly slower, but not by much. Just interesting to sort of keep an eye on the gap between Metro Coffin and Gonzalez, who continue to lead this one, P1, P2, and Granirio in the yellow and pink Porsche. He's third, but he's got Alex Shen, teammate of Rodriguez, chasing him down in P4. Those two are almost identical pace right now. Marcus Van Vliet, he's 13 seconds down the road from these guys in P5. He's sort of in no man's land right now because he's got Chris Rise 37 seconds behind him. Then Diaz Berovitz, that's his first stint today, so he's in the car for Caden Richardson. Double stinted to start this one, so Berovitz in there, Sky and Velez. How are those guys going? Velez, where did you start, Velez? Yeah, P12. So not too bad. I think team of the day so far though, definitely Chris Rise and Eric Lloyd, up 11 spots. Matt Arantz, he's driving with I'm Not Jimmy. They've made up quite a few spots. They're in 15th right now. So they've had a good day as well, but still a fairly long way to go, almost a third race distance, an hour and 13 minutes with a little bit of change thrown in there. So plenty of time left in this one, but that first hour and 47 minutes, I've got to say, has been very entertaining. And it's made things go pretty quickly here. Oh, that's Donnelly in the Lexus. Haven't seen too much of him today. That's at turn 3. Yeah. He just clipped the wall right at the end. Full 360. Oh, that's this battle that we've been seeing coming through. And there's Granirio, like flashing the lights furiously. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! And managed to get away without any incident there. I've seen that a couple of times already. Just other drivers getting caught up in someone else's spin. Alex Shen still.
Donnelly hasn't had a very fun day, that's for sure. It's just been unfortunate. He's innocent bystander with some of the earlier incidents, but to see him still out there circulating.
He's partnering with John Donnelly. So the Donnelly boys, not having a good one. 27th right now. Still at 27 runners. That's really good. We started with 28. So that's a very good result. Very healthy grid. As we're on the left-hand side there, that is North with Skrzowski. And North takes that spot away. So moving the Porsche up into P17. Jeremy Eastcott was in there for the previous stint. Still down 6 spots overall though, so they started P11, find themselves in P17, so not where they want to be. But yeah, Matt Arantz and Jimmy, 15th, started 27th. Having a really good time of it right now, and Chris Rice and Eric Lloyd started P17, find themselves in P6 right now. But almost a full sprint race distance still to go. 70 minutes, so it's a little bit over. And this is the replay. This is another Lexus. Not a good day for the Lexus. Who's that?
That's Donnelly again at the same corner.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, try and fail, then try again. So, continue to circulate. This is Alves in the Ferrari on the right-hand side. I think that's live pictures. It is, there we go. So he's down there in P14 right now, down 9 spots. So yeah, 5 pit stops will do that to you. So not having a great time of it right now. Retro Coffin continues to lead this one. He's 20.4 seconds ahead of Gage Gonzalez. Graniero in 3rd position. Alex Shen 1.6 seconds behind him. And Van Vliet, Rise Diaz, Berovitz, Sky, and Velez rounding out the top 10. On the left-hand side, that's Steve Sky. He's chasing down Berovitz, who's not long into his first stint of the race after Richardson double stinting to begin this one. Berovitz did a 27.232. It was a 46.5 to Sky, so significant pace advantage on that last one around. As we're looking on the right-hand side of the screen, that's Alves getting himself past Kenneth Smith there. So Alves reclaims another position up into P13 right now. In the Ferrari. Back to this battle here. This is for 8th and 9th. So Berovitz in 8th, Sky in 9th. Less than half a second the difference between these two. Last lap around. I did mention that already. 47.2 and a 46.5. So Sky in the Porsche had the advantage. Can he capitalise? Berovitz not had a lot of time behind the wheel. He'll still be just almost right there in the sweet spot in the groove. Working his way into it. See if he can set it up now on the front straight. Porsche obviously not known for its top end speed. plenty of debris and whatnot on the front of that McLaren as well. So it looks like it's had a few little excursions here and there through the first 2/3 of this one. But it's all just cosmetic at this stage. Everything else looks like it's in top shape, so shouldn't cause any dramas. Race has just cooled down a little bit for now. We're in a bit of a lull. We did have plenty of action throughout that, especially after the second stint. Plenty of on-track action, so over an hour still to go. Gap now between Gonzalez and Retro Coffin, 18.8 seconds. So just coming down ever so slightly. Retro Coffin on that last lap around did a 44.937. Gonzalez did a 44.1, but 8/10 faster on that last lap around to Gonzalez. Owner of the fastest lap, here's Sky going up the inside there of Berovitz. Where's that? That's like turn 11, I think it was, or 12, turn 12. And he manages to slip by there, so nice work from Steve Sky. He moves his Porsche up into P8 right now. And that last up around a 45.9 to a 47.2. So he had the pace advantage and he was able to capitalise on it there. So up into P8 with him and Stu Skinner. This is Mateus Alves. This is quite a few. Oh no, that's Charles Ho. So he's in the fence. Where is that? Is he facing around the wrong way there? I'm going to get a replay of it. Oh, this is 3, 6 and 7 at the chicane. Sausage curb. He goes all right. Turn 8's fine. And turn 9. Oh, I just slowly losing the back end, and that's where we found him. So Charles Ho, and they're in P17, drive through clear. Who was that? 963. 963. That was Veach in the Jag. He pit stops today. Veach, 5. 5 stops for him, 5 stops for Alves. But yeah, he's been in the wars, unfortunately. Veach down there in P23 in the Jaguar. And he's a solo driver as well. So long day for him. I'll be looking at that clock and thinking another hour to go. You'll be looking at that too fondly right now, but we're with Alex Shen. He's happy there's plenty of time left on the clock. He's got Granario ahead of him. Let's see what they... Shen was faster the last lap around. Let's see what it is as they cross the start-finish line again. And he is faster again, so a 44.6 to Granario, 45 flat to Shen. He's on the charge. Him and Rodriguez there in P4. Started 8th. It's a good drive from these guys. Been a very solid outing. Tony Rodriguez was a lot of fun to watch. Very aggressive. Wasn't afraid to get his elbows out. And yeah, he put that Honda in a very good position, where Alex Shannon has picked it up and continued to run with it as Rob Ford with him. Looked like Granario just settled the car a little bit there through turn 4. Honda generally does ride the curves. I don't think I've seen a better curve rider than Gonzalez. Especially at Ascari, Monza. very hard right now. Oh, this is Alves. That's Tomazic. Kenneth Smith in there as well. Looks like Alves has managed to slip through. Back to Shen. Sort of time. Drive through 992. That is car 992. That's that's Steve Sky. It's just been one step forward, two step back for those guys today. I'm going to drive through penalty in P8. It's looking pretty good. Unfortunately though, that is not going to do them any good at all. Back to this battle though, so it was Grenario did a 44.645, Alex Shen did a 44.590. What time the screen says something different to mine, Joe? That's interesting.
Last lap was a 45.3 and 45.5, so that was the best laps with a 44.6.
I was looking at the wrong one, sorry. There we go. Sorry, my apologies. I was looking at the wrong one. So it's just a bit of a stalemate right now between Grenario and Shen. They've got Skorowski and Ho. That's for position, just up ahead of those two. Coming through turn 4, there you go, you can see him just pop out there. Three-way battle with... Oh, no, that's, you know who that is.
It's
That's
Retro
Retro
Coffin.
Coffin. There we
Come up
go.
behind very quickly.
Yep. And yeah, Ho gets out of the way. And now he just needs to get past Sorozowski, which he does without any dramas. So Retro Coffin will make his way through the traffic with very little fuss, and he'll let Ho and Sorozowski continue on. Here's Gage Gonzalez. He'll be the next one up on these guys. He's still the gap just a tick over 18 seconds. Still looking good right now. 17 seconds now, it's down into that bracket. See what he laps that. Coffin did a 44.685. Gonzalez does a 605, a 44.605. Just little slivers at the moment. Not taking out big chunks, but just little slivers. We're into the final hour of this one as well, so 2 full hours have been completed. 2 solo drivers are leading the way, Gonzalez and Coffin. As Gonzalez just getting past Donnelly there. Some other scraps out there. Diaz is chasing down Chris Rise, who's back in the car for Eric Lloyd. They're down in 7th position. That's where Chris Rice said in the chat, that's where he wants to finish. Chris Rice, 45.8. Last lap, 45.3 to Diaz. got it right that time. You've got the other little scrap there between Serozowski and Ho. They're still going at it in 15th and 16th position. Lamborghini versus Honda, just on the left-hand side of the screen. How good is that, everyone? Just talk about it, and there it appears on the screen, the left-hand side there. Now the battle is Rise and Diaz in 6th and 7th. Lap times for Ho and Serozowski, 46.8. Kozowski, number 33, and Ho 46.642. So slight advantage. Right on the right-hand side there with Diaz. Over 2/3 race distance. Into the final hour of this one. Track has been at optimum all day, so we've had no dramas. It's 6:10 local time in the game, so that means we're going to get some nice, I think we'll get some nice sunset images that will close out this one. Track at optimum, track 22 degrees, air temperature 20. Right as optimum right now. Here's Ho up the inside out of turn 14. He's going to go side by side with the Lamborghini. Can he get a run and make a move? He's going to go around the outside now for turn 1. It's going to be the long way. He's going to try and go for a little bit of a switchback move here. No, he's going to have to run wide. This is not over yet. I'll go down the hill into turn 2. Had the inside run for that, but he's got the door closed on him there. He's going to run it all the way up to turn 4. And I think that might just be where he needs to yield for now. So that last lap around, Ho did a 46.7 compared to a 47.1. As the battle on the right-hand side, they had a little bit of lap traffic coming up, so that might affect them. In the meantime, though, Ho launching that Honda through the chicane at 6 and 7. So Charles Ho, he is the teammate of go. Where are you, Charles Ho? Having a look for him. Michael Gilbert. There you go. I finally got to it. Let's see if he can launch another attack here up the front straight once again. Serozowski goes defensive again, forcing Ho to the outside. This is good driving from Serozowski. Wants to make sure he doesn't outbrake himself there, which he does a little bit. That's going to open up the door for Ho. And is he going to win the drag race into turn 2? They're going to go side by side here. And Ho has won the battle. So Serozowski just ran a little bit deep under brakes into turn 1. Perhaps it was too much looking behind, driving defensive. So Ho takes that position away, so he moves up into P15 right now. We're back with Chris Rise and Victor Diaz in 6th and 7th. In terms of lap times, at Rise of 46.7, 47.1 to Diaz. So held the advantage on that previous lap. But as you can see, this is the gap right here. That portion in the background is not for position Who is that? Is that? Oh, I think that's Retro Coffin. That's our race leader coming through. So these two are locked in a battle, which has been going on for a little while now. They'll see the blue flags waving, and they've got our race leader coming through, and Diaz goes hard right and says, "Go for it, buddy. I'm not going to get in your way." And very obliging there. So nice work from Diaz. Now it'll be Chris Rise. Be his turn just to let the leader through. He's got the blue flags waving at him. Rise did a 46.6 on that last lap. Diaz a 46.3, but he's dropped right off Chris Rise. It was under half a second when we picked them up, and he went hard right to let the leader through, and he gets past Chris Rise without any dramas either. Almost allows Diaz then to catch back up to Rise, but we're looking at Alex Shan. This is for P3. This is a podium position. He's all over the back of Graniero in the Porsche, in the yellow and pink Porsche. A little bit of contact there. They're going to go down into turn 2. This is for P3 with 50 minutes left in this 3-hour enduro. And Alex Shen all over the back of Graniero. They've got, I think it's Matt Arantz in the car right now in the Lamborghini, the pink Lamborghini just up ahead. Here he is. He's doing, no, that's Jimmy. Jimmy's back in the car. I don't think he's, that's not a position that he's racing for right now. I think that's Valles that they have there. So 2 lap cars coming up ahead of P3 and P4. This is a battle for the podium on the right hand side at 7th and 6th between Chris Rise and Victor Diaz in the McLaren. And that's Marcus Van Vliet as well. So 3rd, 4th and 5th have all compacted up here. And this is a 3-way fight right now for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Diaz, he gets past Rise, so drops him down into 7th. Diaz moves up into 6th. Shen, can he get past Graniero? Can he pull it up in time? Oh, he runs a little bit deep there, outbreaks himself into turn 1. He had the lap traffic in the way there as well, so that would have broken a little bit of his concentration. And now he's got Van Vliet all over the back of him, attacking him from behind. So Graniero, Shen, Van Vliet, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Inside the final hour of this one. Final podium position is still up for grabs. The win is still up for grabs. It's 14 seconds now, the gap between Gonzalez and Coffin. So that's come down from as much as 34 seconds at one stage. Gonzalez just bringing the gap ever closer.
Graniero is going to need to pit this lap. I suspect a little bit into this one. He doesn't have a lot left in his stint timer. It's very dicey with the traffic.
Oh, goodness gracious. This is minus freeway peak hour right now, this sort of stuff. Graniero running wide. So as you pointed out, Joe, he's going to have to pit in here. Look at them all behind as well. Traffic is crazy right now. So Shan, he's in 3rd. Graniero still fighting out. Does he know he needs to pit? Is he going to pit? He is. Oh, that was Van Vliet. Oh, that's going to be really awkward. Oh, is he going to make? He's going to have to pit. Van Vliet. We saw that happen in the Roos race with Jamie Koza debut in Suzuka and Van Vliet. What's the timer on? Oh,
it's right. It's under 48 minutes,
yeah,
so it's okay.
He's going to get away with it. Yeah.
So it's a bit earlier than he was hoping for. So you just hope that in the panic to come in that he adds an extra lap of fuel.
All right, so he's going to have to think on the fly. The big winner out of that's been Alex Shen. Van Vliet still in the pits right now. So is Granario.
So back behind these guys, it was actually a battle for position between Polyak, Velez, Sky. So this is that battle that they came up again, up behind, who were looking at blue flags, trying to battle for their own positions.
Yeah, it was they were having their own scrap, and then the confines of the circuit as well, just condensing them all together. We were lucky that no one made a massive loss out of that in terms of spinning around or getting taken out or anything. Van Vliet was probably the one who lost out the most, but it's worked out okay for him. He's out of the pits now, so Granario is also out of the pits too. This is Jimmy was in there as well, or is he out of the car? Again, I'm just trying to catch up. Right now, this is Velez and Polyak. This is 9th and 10th. So Rise and Berovitz, they're in the pit shed. He's in the pits pitting from P3 right now as well. So once we get these pit stops cleared, it's going to be a clear race until the very end. Retro Coffin and Gonzalez, they're single drivers, so they're not going to have to do the driver swap. And we're having a look at Chris North on the replay. What happened here is that up to turn 4? No. Oh, this is turn 2 by the looks of it. Yeah, into 3. And we just hit that curb, and that was enough to just distribute the weight a little bit too much to the right-hand side and turns the Porsche around. So Chris North down there in 15th right now. Alex Shen in the pits. We'll see if he hands it over to Tony Rodriguez. But in the meantime, we're looking at Velez. He's all over the back of Polyak in the BMW. A very neatly presented BMW it is. He's got Sky behind him as well. He's had a rough day with him and Stu Skinner. They're still continuing to battle away. They started 9th, that's where they are right now. So despite all the dramas, they're still in the for a top 10 position finish. It's a little bit squirrely out of turn 11. That's all right. Trying to work out now. I'm not Jimmy, so he's in the car. He's in 16, so he's lap traffic right now. Here's Sky all over the back of the Aston Martin of Velez, who is pitting. He'll be making his final stop. That will allow Sky to skip through. And we've got Alves and Eric Lloyd, who's back in the car for Chris Rise. So those two wanted a top 7 finish. They're currently P10 right now. Alves in the Ferrari, Mateus. He's pitting from P11 right now. Velez is in there as well. Retro Coffin, let's have a look. Stint limits. So Retro Coffin's at 40 minutes. Gage Gonzalez is at 41. Victor Diaz was at 41. Polyak, he has to pit again. So does Steve Sky. Velez, Ramica. So the top 3 all need to pit. Gage Gonzalez, and he does just that. So he's making his way into the pits well within his stint limit. Victor Diaz currently sitting in P3. He will need to pit again though. Gonzalez still in the pits. Still still stationary. Retro Coffin continuing to circulate. He's got a bit of clear air right now. Let's see if he does decide to pit. Because if he does pit, he's got a whole gaggle of cars behind him, so he would let them all go through. And he would get a lot of clear air coming straight out of the pits. Gage Gonzalez, though, on the other hand, yeah, he's out of the pits now. And here he is. So he's got Lloyd just behind him, who's been circulating for a couple of laps prior to the Gonzalez stop. Down there in P7. And Gonzalez, P2 right now. So let's see if Coffin decides to pit. He does. This is a good move. This is a good move for him because this will free him up from a lot of traffic behind him. And this is a pressure stop. This could be to decide victory in this one. It's going to go a long way. So he hits his markers, no problems. Gonzalez is at turn 8, turn 9 now. Retro Coffin, stationary. I think the gap was at about 12 seconds or so. So Coffin still stationary right now. Gonzalez continuing to charge. There we go. We can see Coffin on the left-hand side. Gonzalez on the right-hand side. There he goes. He's dropped. He's moving. And he's going to come out into fresh, clean air. And it's going to be absolutely perfect for him. Drive-through penalty. That was... Let me get to it in a moment. So there we go. So Coffin just going through turn 1 now. And Gonzalez is about halfway up the main straight. So that's roughly the gap between the two. As the timer catches up. About 10 seconds. So he's taken out a little chunk of time there from Retro Coffin. Drive-through 43. Drive-through number 10. So 43 to Mazick. Number 10, Donnelly. Oh, those Donnelly boys have been in the wars today. Yeah. So Tomazic and Donnelly both have drive-through penalties. This is Graziosi. Tony Rodriguez is in the car. And what can he do? So great stint from Alex Shen. These guys are driven together beautifully all race. Tony Rodriguez sends it up the inside of turn 1. Great driving from both of those guys. Graziosi is new in the car as well. And he lets that go through. So Tony Rodriguez... I like the Tony Rodriguez style of driving.
He's done a good job there. It was a great pass. Great respect for both of them. Enough space was given.
Very intelligent driving from both of those guys. As we've got another drive-through penalty. That's Gilbert down in 15th right now. So that's Michael Gilbert. I think he's just freshened the car from home. So... not a good start to this closing stint for him. So 38 minutes left in this one. Right now, it's Retro Coffin leading in P1. Gage Gonzalez second. Tony Rodriguez third. Graziosi fourth. Gafor fifth. Diaz, Lloyd, Berovitz, Alves, Velez. That's your top 10. Right now, we're looking at Martin Riggs. He's freshened the car as well. He's chasing down Velez for a top 10 finish in this one. Drive through number 10. Oh, that's Donnelly again. Ooh. Just goes from bad to worse for him, unfortunately. Not a great way, but thankfully only 37.5 minutes left for those guys. 1:43 serves his drive-through penalty. That's Gilbert. So just a couple of little late race slip-ups there. Nothing for the leaders. Every time it kept on popping up, I was like, oh, is it going to be 9:37 or 13? But neither of those drivers. Two manufacturers occupying the top 5 right now. Porsche and Honda as Riggs runs deep. He's not one of them. He's in 11th. He's the sole BMW in the field, him and Poliak. So that would make it the best looking BMW in the field is Velez. I don't think that's for position because Alves is who he's chasing. 1.5 seconds up the road. There he is. He's got... Oh, who was that? That is a Mercedes 720. That's Petrovic's in the wall outside of turn 4. He's just getting himself going again as well. That's big damage. Let's have a look at this on the replay. Oh, he's just put the inside, gone around, and bang! That's a big one. That's the bonnet pop up. That's time to go to the pits. Unfortunately for him, Tomazic. Who's his teammate, Tomazic? Chris Ramica. Oh, no, it isn't. I tell a lie. Nah, Aman's Petrovic's solo driver. Oh, and is that? That's not Ho. That's that is really awkward. That was the Honda. That was belonging to
Rodriguez. I'm not too sure who the other car was.
Oh, was that Rodriguez?
That was Rodriguez.
Oh no, that's huge.
Car 43. That was Tomazic. It's the white.
Oh no.
Aston Martin. It's the other contact.
So they've dropped now out of podium contention.
They have.
So Rodriguez was in 5th. He's dropped down into 3rd. Oh, sorry, was in 3rd. He's dropped down to 5th. Oh no. Drive through for track limit 667. That's Johnson, Jake Johnson in the McLaren, circulating down there in P26.
So Jake actually had a disconnect and he's managed to get back into the circuit since then. Just about 2 minutes.
So here we go, Eric Lloyd and Chris Rice. They have had a great day. They have gained 10 positions. He's looking to make it number 11 on Colin Shea. Going to go up the inside here. He's going to challenge him down the hill into turn 2. They're going to go side by side. Can he hold his line? No, he can't. Eric Lloyd able to just take the inside line through there. Turn 3. Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for it, chasing down that McLaren up the hill into turn 4. Still, this is pressure for Shea to get this right. Oh, it takes a lot of curb. We've seen plenty of cars come unstuck through there already today. Sun starting to come down. Circuit bathed in a nice orange hue. A glow. It's been a glowing race. It's been fun. We've got a half an hour and change to go. This is not over. Having a look at the gap between Gonzalez and Coffin, it's down to 6.5 seconds is the difference between those two. So the race for the lead is not over. Gafford is 6.1 seconds behind Graziosi and is lapping about half a second faster at this stage. And Tony Rodriguez, don't count him out, in P5 after that little excursion earlier on. So the top 5 still up for grabs. Eric Lloyd and Chris Rice looking to make this a top 7 finish. He put that in the chat, that's what he wants. Eric Lloyd trying to bring it home. Chris Rice, I dare say, will be cheering him on as well. They've had a great day as the Aston Martin just getting out of the way. Nice work from car number 26. That is car 26. I can't even see car 26 on there. Nonetheless, they're out of the way.
It's at the moment, I think. Car 26.
Yep, okay.
So
Yeah,
Gonzalez has a bit of clean air ahead of him, with Retro Coffin coming up onto a bit of lap traffic, so that you can see this gap come down quite quickly in this particular lap.
Well, a 44.640. Gonzalez did a 44.487. So we've seen that for a lot of the day, of just shaving off these little slivers of time. Gap just outside 6 seconds. It was as high as 34. At one stage, Gonzalez started P28 on the grid. Copped an early drive-through penalty. Dropped him down further in the pack up until about P10. And then he's just methodically worked his way back up through the field. Finds himself in P2. On the other hand, Retro Coffin, he qualified in P1. And that is where he's stayed the entire race. So he's led this thing from the get-go.
So Retro Coffin just did a 43.8, so he's got some pace towards the end of the race. So this is be interesting finish to this. Half hour to go.
Gonzalez did a 43.940 on that lap. So nothing between these guys right now. An exciting half an hour ahead. Eric Lloyd still looking for his way past Colin Shea. Trying to work himself into P6. And on the left-hand side, this is Alves. He's chasing down the Aston Martin with the Les. He did a 46.2 on that last lap around. Alves was a second slower on that last lap. Shea and Lloyd. Shea did a 46.7. Lloyd did a 46.5 on that previous lap as well. So the Audi can't hold on for that P7. He's got Berovitz. He's had a good race with Richardson. They both double stinted. So Richardson did the first half. Berovitz has done the second half. 28 seconds down the road. So Lloyd can focus completely his attention on the car in front. Doesn't need to worry about being attacked from behind. As they're just making their way past some lap traffic now. The gap between Coffin and Gonzalez still 6.5 seconds. Last lap around a 44.435 to a 555 for Gonzalez. So once again, Retro Coffin just so slightly faster ahead. Look at Clean Air ahead of him. He's fine. So he's not going to have any dramas, and neither will Gonzalez. He's got Graziosi 56 seconds behind him. So.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Is...
That's Gonzalez and Gafford. I just cut across to that, and it looked very awkward. They were battling with each other out of turn 2, I think it was. Here it is. What happened here? Right up the back of him too. Oh, he made a mistake. Oh, just that back left quarter panel, and yeah, it's all coming unstuck for Rodriguez late in this race. He's driven so well, and he's going to come into the pits. So needs to repair that. That's really disappointing, because him and Alex Shen have driven such a good race, and it's starting to unravel a little bit. They're going to fall down the timesheets, unfortunately. Speaking of timesheets, Gonzalez still second. 6.5 seconds is the gap. Coffin did a 44.232. Gonzalez does a 44.170. So you got to give it to Retro Coffin, man. This guy has driven faultlessly.
He has. He's got pace as well, which is the big thing. So yeah, towards the end of the race, he's taking it to Gonzalez. He's not going to give it easily to him.
Yep. And it's just cool that this wasn't a mistake that he was there. It wasn't through some sort of anomaly or a stroke of good luck. This guy he's earned it all the way. I'm sure he'd just be wishing that it could be like this at every circuit. As I think all drivers do when you get that sweet spot. Why can't I drive like this all the time? But He's doing great. So he's got 27 minutes, just under 27 minutes to close this one out, but Gonzalez will push him all the way. In the meantime, Skinner drive-through penalty. Car 13! Car 13! That's Gage Gonzalez. He's got a drive-through penalty. Oh man, Tony Rodriguez and Alex Shen would be absolutely spewing right now. Because if they hadn't have had those mishaps, they would have been on target for P2 here. But Gonzalez is going to have to serve a drive-through penalty. That means Graziosi is going to move up into P2 and Gafford into P3. It could possibly be a Porsche 1, 2, 3 at the conclusion of this one. But Gage Gonzalez just pushing a little bit too hard. He's going to serve it straight away. He's in there. Oh no, that was Tony Rodriguez. No, it wasn't Tony Rodriguez. It was another Honda. Had a big hit nonetheless. So is Graziosi going to be close enough to take advantage of this? Gonzalez traveling through pit lane, and it's not going to cost him P2. It is definitely going to cost him a shot at winning this thing though, because the gap is now back out to 30 plus seconds between him and Retro Coffin. So Retro Coffin will see the times and you'll see, hang on, this gap is extended extremely significantly. And there's Graziosi. So he wasn't able to take advantage of the drive-through for Gage Gonzalez. So it didn't end up costing him too much, cost him nothing in the end, really just a shot. 86 gets a drive-through penalty. That is car number 86, Rustin, down there in P20, the Lexus, receiving a late race penalty. And I dare say that might have just snuffed out any chance that we had of a grandstand finish. Unfortunately for this one between Gonzalez and Coffin, that the pace was good from both of them. But yeah, that drive-through penalty for Gage is just unless something happens to him, fingers crossed, touch wood that it doesn't. But that might be the only way Gonzalez can find himself contending back at the front. Rodriguez is back out there as well after that late race pit stop. So he's circulating down there in P9. But Eric, yep, there he is, making his way through. He's got some blue flags waving. That's Alves. That's a position. So he's got a car between him and Alves, and that's for position in the Ferrari. So for P8. Trying to see who is that. It's a Honda. 26, that's Townsend in there right now. So just getting out of the way. That was nicely done. There we go. So Rodriguez would give chase. It could have been a top 5, potentially a podium finish for him and Alex Shen, except for it just going a little bit pear-shaped, unfortunately. Late race. As Alves time around does a 46.3, 45 flat to Rodriguez. So he's got the pace. Send it down the inside there at turn 1. And it's going to be Ferrari versus Honda drag race into turn 2. He's going to be forced to go around the outside. He's going to try and cut back under. And that works to perfection. Nice job. Can he hold it through turn 3? Oh, that had disaster written all over it, but he gets through. So a little bit of redemption for Tony Rodriguez. Moves up into P8. 33 seconds adrift of Berovitz though, so this might be the best him and Alex Shen can manage for this one. car behind Alves. That's not 4th position. He's got Riggs in the BMW 4.1 seconds down the road. So that battle will play itself out over the last 21 and a half minutes of this one. Having a look at lap times out in front, I guess it's a case of what could have been a 44.5 to Coffin, a 44.380, a 382 to Gonzalez. So yeah, Gonzalez had the late race pace, but unfortunately that's racing, and that's how it goes sometimes. We don't always get a grandstand finish as much as we'd like. There's some other battles out there. It's Velez and Skinner. Might have a look at statistics. So Gonzalez, he's the biggest mover, 26 spots. Eric Lloyd and Chris Rise, they're up 11 spots. I'm Not Jimmy and Matt Arantz, they're up 12. So they're the biggest movers. Zhang and Serozowski, they've lost 10 spots. So they would have liked their chances of this one after qualifying. And then Gilbert and Eastcott lost 6 each. So yeah, and we've still got 26. So we've only lost 2 over the entire 3 hours. That's pretty good. Here's Velez and Skinner. For P11 and 12. Stu Skinner. He's in the car for Steve Sky, and if Steve Sky's watching, he's watching his teammate lose a position to Velez, runs deep as well. Now, that's not 4th position. That's a lapped McLaren. I think that's 667, I believe. Of Jake Johnson. And Velez is able to drive away now from Skinner as they go up the front straight. Less than 20 minutes left. You know, just moving his way past that lapped car. Who else do we have out there that's kind of close to Mazik? Down in 18s. He's probably the other one that's really close. But yeah, some late race dramas the top 5 was up for grabs at one stage. Oh, hang on. Gafford. Oh, what's happened to Gafford? Fahad Gafford. I think that's a disconnect. Is it? What's happened to him? Fahad Gafford. Yeah, he's gone. That's a disconnect. Fahad Gafford. They were lapping in a podium position, and with less than 20 minutes remaining, that is a disconnect. That is absolutely brutal. That is such bad luck. Oh, you've got to feel for him. That is really, really horrible luck. A disconnect after over 2.5 hours of racing, less than 20 minutes inside of the finish line, and that's it. Like that, done. Oh. You got to feel for him. That is, man, that's sim racing, unfortunately. That's brutal. But one man's loss is another man's gain. Eric Lloyd and Chris Rise, they wanted P7. They got P5 right now. And that was Gonzalez moving through. So has he lapped them? How far ahead he is. Wow. So Lloyd and Miser up into P5 right now. They've got Shea up ahead. 4.6 seconds is the gap. Getting a little draft, and there's Fahad Ghafoor in the pits. Not where he wants to be. So really, really bad luck. They've driven such a great race. But they're out. That's rough. Really, they're not of their own doing. Unfortunate. They're going to have to watch the rest of this one from the sidelines. As Eric Lloyd, what's the gap? 5.3 seconds between him and Shea. Shea on that last lap did a 46.3. Eric Lloyd was a 47 flat. So he'll have to pick it up if he wants to claim a top 4 position. The gap out in front between Retro Coffin and Gage Gonzalez is at 30 seconds. So we're approaching the final quarter hour of this one. Graziosi, P3, 40 seconds behind Gonzalez. Shea is a mile back behind Graziosi. Lloyd is only 5.4 seconds. He's going to have to get a hurry on though. There's only a quarter hour left. Time is running out. But I think that they'll still be happy with the top 5 nonetheless. I think he'd just be happy to bring it home and finish 5th. Last lap around would probably indicate that a 45.9 to Shea, a 46.7 to Lloyd. So that gap doesn't look like it's going to come down much. Berovitz, almost 30 seconds adrift of Lloyd, where he's been for a fair while now. Drive through penalty, drive through for speeding in pit lane 45. That's Ghafoor. That is, they're back out. And I think Marcus Van Vliet is in the car now. So it was obviously a disconnect on Ghafoor's end, and Van Vliet has managed to jump into the car and take over. So they're classified as being P15 or 18. I've got 18 on one timing screen, 16 on another. No, there you go, 18th. There you go. So that's worked itself out. So they're back out circulating. Not much, not really what they wanted though. Here's Townsend. And they're in 24th in the Honda. This is Jake Johnson as well. So, and they're in 25th position. What else do we have out there? Yeah, this one's just going to, I guess the best part about it now is the afternoon sun. Track's still at optimums, dropped down a couple of degrees, 20 degrees track temperature. Local time is almost 5 to 7 in the evening. 19 degrees air temperature as we go on board with this man here, Retro Coffin, who there's not enough good things you can say about his drive today. Let's go for a lap, I reckon. Let's see how he's doing it. So this is a very interesting situation because Velez has got Riggs ahead of him and he's got the leader coming through. So blue flags are waving. 11 minutes left. Retro Coffin just needs to navigate a little bit more traffic and he'll have a clear run to the finish line here. Gage Gonzalez still 28 seconds behind. Velez just looking for a way past Riggs, who's partnered with Poliak. They started P15, so they've had a good day. And there's Coffin making his way through, and he's straight away flashing the lights for Riggs, letting him know, coming through. I know you're racing someone else, but just let me duck through and I'll make you resume hostilities with Velez. Oh, this is a bit awkward. Blue flags are waving, sun starting to set. See some nice pictures. So Retro still hasn't made it past yet. Let's see how this pans out. Gotta get past Riggs. We've got the camera on Riggs on the left-hand side there. He made it past Velez without any issues. Riggs has a Nissan in front of him, but that's lap traffic. He's fighting with Alves, but he's 10 seconds down the road from Mateus. We've got the onboard. The Nissan gets out of the way. Nice work. Not too sure who that belongs to. That's looks like it's Curtis Lee. And there we go. So Coffin finally able to get past the BMW of Martin Riggs. And with less than 9 minutes left, he's got some clean air. Velez and Riggs now going at it. This is great stuff. This is Aston versus BMW. Drag race down the front straight into turn one. Who's going to win the battle? Velez pulls it up in time. Sneaks it down the inside and takes the position away. So Velez moves into P9. He's a solo driver as well, Luis Velez, so he's been there for all 2 hours and 52 minutes. And he was able to get the job done on Riggs. Still, those guys would be pretty happy, him and Poliak, with a top 10 finish. Coffin has a little bit more traffic to deal with. Got a Porsche up ahead of him. I think that belongs to Eastcott. But you have to think that doesn't cause him any issues. He's got this all wrapped up with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left. Been a dominant drive. With him now, so 7 minutes left. Track's still optimum. Having a look for any other gaps with the field is really spread right out now. Pit counts. Did anyone have 5 or higher? Yeah, they did. Townsend. 6 stops today. 9 stops to beat. Oh, that's a lot of stops. 9. 5 to Ruston, including the one he's in on there now. He's cotton to Mazic. Gilbert, they had 5 pit stops. 5 spots to Stu Skinner, 6 to Alves. Funnily enough, Gage Gonzalez has had 5 stops today, but is in P2. It's quite incredible.
Take out those 2 drive-through penalties, and he's ahead of Coffin on track. So it's been an interesting day for him. Started from the back of the field. Been interesting if he got a lap in qualifying. Whoa.
Oh, that's not what you want to see with less than 6 minutes in the race and the car in front of you while you're leading the race. He would have had his heart in the mouth then. Might have needed to call a doctor.
He's had a few moments throughout the race.
Yeah, it's not been without any dramas for him, but relatively speaking compared to what others have experienced. Gonzalez, Gonzalez has gone around. That's at turn 8, I think, or turn 11. No, turn 11. I wonder what's happened to him there. Was it 11 or turn 4? Just trying to see. I think turn 4. Here we go. Rough. That was turn 11, yeah. Graziosi though is still not close enough. That's not really cost him anything again. So as we saw with that stop-go penalty, the 30-second drive-through, just the drive-through, sorry. Rustin's got a stop-go penalty, 30 seconds, so he was in the pits for his 5th stop. He's going to have to make his 6th visit to the pits based on that, and I think Coffin made his way through that lap traffic as well. So he's 4 minutes away. Probably another lap and a half. Is he lapping at 46s? Maybe 2 laps, I reckon, judging by where he is. To go in this one. Eric Lloyd and Chris Rise. They've had a great day. Currently sitting P5 right now. 4.2 seconds behind Curtis Shea. He's driven quite well. He's kept Lloyd behind him. He and Victor Diaz had a good day. Started P6. Lloyd and Rise, on the other hand, started P17, so they've moved up 12. Not as good as Gonzalez, up 26. Not quite as good as Jimmy and Matt Morant, who moved from P27 to P14. So they've also had a very productive day as well. I reckon we've got 2 laps, including the one that we're on now. Before this thing is wrapped up, it's less than 3 minutes on the clock. I don't think Lloyd is going to be able to make any headway into Shea, unless he has some kind of big mistake, but we don't wish that upon him at this stage of the race, or at any other stage of the race, to be fair. More blue flags waving. We've seen plenty of them today. I think it's been good. I was a bit sort of skeptical of circuit choice. When I saw it was going to be the Hungaroring for a 3-hour enduro, I thought it could be a bit of a procession, but it has proven to be not the case, which has been really good. I think we've had some great racing. Saw a lot of contact though not something you normally see at PanAm, but nonetheless, I think the driving standards have been pretty good. Been exciting. That started off pretty crazy, then it simmered down, and then escalated again. We've had sort of ebbs and flows of it all, but overall I think it's been a pretty entertaining 3 hours, I've got to say.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
And there it is. The final lap has begun. Retro Coffin has 14 turns and 4.38 kilometres to navigate. What's that in miles? I don't know what that is in miles, but there's the sun. Look at that. That's the money shot right there, baby. That's good stuff. 667 drive-through for ignoring driver stint time. That's Jake Johnson down there in P25. There's Retro Coffin coming through turn 4 for the final time this race. He's got it stuck on his car. Did someone call for a doctor? Well, if they did, he certainly has the cure for whatever ails you. He has driven a flawless race. He qualified P1. He's held P1 all the way. The only thing he hasn't done is get the fastest lap. So that's going to belong to Gage Gonzalez unless he breaks it on this last one. But I don't think he really sees the need to do that with a 35-second gap. He just needs to coast home. A few more turns to navigate here. But yeah, been a great drive from him. The Porsche has definitely suited this circuit. Interesting to see 2 McLarens up in the top 6 as well. We haven't really seen them all day. Good race from Berovitz and Richardson as well. But it's been all about this man here, Retro Coffin. Congratulations. He is going to take victory in the 3 hours of the Hungaroring for PanAm Racing. He crosses the line and takes P1. Congratulations.
Finished the race.
Flawless victory. That was a sensational drive from him. He was awesome today. Had a couple of little dramas here and there, but other than that, he was fine. This man here, Gage Gonzalez, he had a few dramas himself. A couple of drive-through penalties. He qualified in P28. We do still have 26 runners left, which is an awesome result. He's going to come home and take P2. It was looking like he was going to challenge late in the race until he got that drive-through penalty. And weaving and cross the line. There he is in P2. Congratulations to him. Would have been great to see a late race battle with him and Retro Coffin. He's just doing some celebratory donuts there, enjoying himself, and so he should. So the victors go the spoils. This man here, Graziosi, he and Granario, great little tandem there. Had a good race as well. They're going to come home and claim the final podium position. Congratulations to Claudio Graziosi and Christian Granario. P3, well done. Very well deserved there. Who else do we have out there? P4. Oh, so they've already crossed the line. So Shea and that was Shea and Victor Diaz in 4th. Chris Rise and Eric Lloyd. They take home P5. Well done to those boys. P8 we're looking at now, Mateus Alves. He's a solo driver. So before him was Caden Richardson and Neil Berovitz. There was 6th. 7th, Alex Shen and Tony Rodriguez. They would have been hoping to finish a bit higher until late race issues. Mateus Alves, Luis Velez in 9th. 10th, Jack Poliak and Martin Riggs. And then you've got Sky and Skinner, Zhang Skazowski, Kenneth Smith, Albert Brand, Jimmy, Matt Arantz, Charles Ho, Michael Gilbert, Eastcott North, Chris Maker and Stephen Tomazic, Van Vliet and Fahad Gafour had the late race dramas, Warwick Veach, Shuffler Piasic, Curtis Ruston, Townsend, Noel, Donnelly and Donnelly. That is the finishing order for the 3-hour enduro of PanAm of the Hungaroring. That was fun. I love the enduros. That was good. Congratulations to Retro Coffin, Gonzalez and Graziosi.
Yeah, well done. Well done, everyone. It was a great race. Thank you, Nick. PanAm have one more race next Sunday for their sprint series, and then that's it for the year.
Woo!
Yeah, it's been a big one, that's for sure. And thank you for everyone that's jumped on and had a look. Thank you, Hurt, for your nice comments in the chat. And we might be available for next weekend. We'll see. It's a pretty busy time of year. Christmas shopping and the like to get done. Christmas parties and all. So, yeah, we'll see. And if we don't, thank you, everyone. Have a good Christmas and New Year. And we'll see you at the next one.
Cool. See you, everyone.